What up, Chiz? Welcome to TSG Uncut. I'm your Sean C. Sorry, I'm starting late. But it's funny. I was reading the chat before everything started. I was like, oh my God. So we're gonna go through what I just read in the chat here in a little bit. And then I got a text from a friend, and she kind of got a boyfriend issue. And I thought it was interesting. She and I grew up together, but something that the boyfriend said we'll talk about. We might bring up briefly, but I'm like, wow, I'm trying to start this live stream and I got bombarded with all this stuff at once. And it's just pretty interesting, man. Uh, let's get into the intro real quick. Thank you all for being here. Welcome to Test Your Cut. Again, I'm your host, Sean C. If you new to this channel, we talk about these things from time to time. You know what's funny? I've been hearing a lot about this quote unquote loneliness epidemic. And listen, I no matter what I say tonight, I don't want you all to think that I'm downplaying, you know, that there are, men who are going through it right now. Okay. I saw a man on a live stream the other night, and he was a veteran, and I was looking for content, and this dude just started talking about how tough things are for him. And I don't think it's just to deal with, you know, he don't have a woman or not married or anything like that. The dude already was struggling. A lot of veterans struggle, not to mention he had gotten a really bad diagnosis. And so I wanted to put something in the comments, but as he continued to talk, I had what I'm going to tell him, you know? So I didn't intend to bring that up, but I want to put a pin in that because what we're starting to hear a lot is we're starting to see women talk about us men, just being lonely. And listen, there is a demographic of men right now who are very lonely, okay? Like they are starving for affection. They are starving for some level of attention, right? And it's, but I don't. But you got to understand that there's a bunch of narratives out there, and every time we start to hear about this loneliness epidemic, you only hear it from the perspective or the assumption that it's a man. All right. Especially, it seems like in these spaces that the epidemic is predominantly black men out here that are lonely. And I read the comments. I read y'all comments all the time, man. I can't get to all of them, and I want to answer a lot of them, but I'll heart them to let you know, hey, I'm going through as many as I can. So when I read y'all comments on these videos, man, y'all don't sound lonely to me, okay? Hopefully I can rightfully assume that you all wish that, hey, things could be a little bit different. Things isn't as chaotic or disorderly, or hell, yeah, it'd be nice to find somebody, but I'm not gonna hold my breath. That's what a lot of you all feel, okay? They got you. Look, if you listen to the way the stuff is laid out here, they would have you to believe that all of us black men are sad, broken, and begging women to come back. Yeah, I'm reading your comments, yo. Yeah. And listen, when you look around, that's not happening. I'm gonna tell y'all something, and I don't even have this written down in my notes. When I'm going through the supermarket, right? I go to the supermarket, right, like once, twice, like maybe once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks, something like that, right? I'll go to the supermarket typically after the gym. And it's not just in the supermarket. This is just where I notice it at. But in the supermarkets, gents, I'm seeing dudes who ain't supposed to, like the ones they saying, y'all ain't got no girls, y'all this, blah, blah, blah. Yo, some of these dudes that look like, and this is no shade, because listen, I got my defects too, right? My head is shaped funny, all that stuff like that, right? You got these dudes who are supposed to be the losers, the nerds, right? Or whatever, the rejects, the undesirables. They got cute girls on their arms, bro. They, these dudes, bro, they got cute girls on their arms, bro. So, and I see it a lot, man. I be like, you know what? Good for that dude right there. You know what I'm saying? Good for that dude to find somebody. And good for them for having each other, man. I'm not against relationships, man. I'm not. I just want them, I just want for them to be, I want for them to not take advantage of men. I ain't gonna make no apologies for that. Hell, I want them to work out for women. Right? Shout out to Romy Rome in the house. Is one of my brothers here. Peace, brother Sean C. Romy Rome in the building. What's going on, Rome? Yo, I don't know what you're doing right now. If you want to come up for the live stream, let me know, man. I'll send you a link. If not, then actually let me. Yeah, it's been a while. Where you been at, bro? You been Romy Rome out there. He out there. He the king of New Orleans out there. Romy Rome is the king of New Orleans. You know what though? That's my brother. I'm so happy for you, bro. I'm glad you're doing your thing. Let me just in case you want to come through, I'll catch a link. Let me send this to him real quick. There we go. All right. But again, let's get back to it real quick. Oh, grinding. Okay. I'm going to get to the comments here in a second. Listen, this is what I want to tell you. I'm not seeing black men crying. I'm reading y'all comments. And yeah, y'all might have an opinion about it, but like it ain't no different than us talking about this shit at the barbershop or with one of your boys or nothing like that. You know what I mean? Like we laugh and talk about this stuff too. That's why you know we chat about this. You know, and when men find the right spaces to talk, we not lonely. We got brothers to share our thoughts on this stuff with. You know what I mean? We got brothers to rap with about this stuff. You know, you've had brothers that come in these comments of this very show, you know, and express what they're going through. And guess what? Shout out to the gents because y'all were there. Do y'all remember the young man that came through, his girl pregnant and stuff? And we surrounded that dude and we were like, you know what, man? Look, just, you know, congrats on the baby. You know, take your time. We was giving him advice. So before I continue with my intro monologue, I want to show y'all something. Y'all might have seen my my community post, but I actually brought it up here tonight. I'm gonna put this up on screen real quick. Check this out. Right? This is what I put in the community post. Now, this was one of the comments from one of the most recent videos I had. Okay? Right? Shout out to this lady, you know. She said, when did men ever want marriage? Listen, there are men that want marriage. I've done a poll on this channel. A lot of men actually, more surprisingly enough, a lot of men want their own wife. What they don't want is the loud mouth ass women that's telling them how to love and how to function. Right? So, and who gets to say what marriage is? See, gents, real quick. Let me put myself back up on screen. The champ, shout out to you for being here. I'm gonna get to y'all in a second. She like, who gets to say what marriage is? You see, like, you see these narratives that get phrased around? Who gets to say what it is? I'm not saying I totally disagree with her, but there's a reason why I'm addressing this. Because let's not pretend we don't know what the hell marriage is supposed to be, or at least what it was that we've been conditioned to know what it believes. Even if you don't get in front of a preacher, we know what marriage is. Why are we playing? Now, I will agree with her. This is well, I agree. Again, I ain't no hater. But I do want to address this. I want to address this on the live stream. Given the way marriage is currently constructed, and this has been my position here on TSG Uncut, but given the way that marriage is currently constructed in modern Western cultures, it's not that we don't know what marriage is, but marriage is going to have to evolve based upon men needing to protect themselves. See, we are the ones who ask you all for marriage, right? We go up to you all and ask you all for your hand in marriage. So women are waiting on us, just like we have to ask y'all, we have to get your permission to lay with you. If not, it's a crime. I want that to be clear. Any woman that lay down with a man and it wasn't consensual, she allowed that to happen. So when we get married, we allow that. We're the one that asked for it, which is why I came on here on one of my videos or recently and I said, look, I chose that. I made those bad mistakes. I've owned up for what my mistakes were. And this woman goes on to say, aren't having kids enough for you men? We have to marry you too. So this is the mindset, gents. Please bear with me. We're going to get into tonight's videos, but I really want to drive this point home on what we're going to talk about today or how this is relevant. All right? It's women. It's your women that aren't like, oh, well, why we got to marry y'all to have kids with y'all? Why do we have to have a higher level of commitment before we have kids? And I want y'all to notice something. I ain't saying nothing slick to a can of oil. I get it. Gents, you all know. But here it is. Y'all don't want a higher level commitment. Why? We can see that it's particularly and especially in the Black community that our women aren't asking for something higher level. They don't have the expectation. They busted it wide open before thinking. They think, and I put clips on this channel about it. They think that you don't need to be married or in some higher level commitment before having a kid. They don't believe that. They don't even believe it. When even the older women ain't even telling them that. But every step, and me and one of my boys talked about this. We talked about one of our boys who's married right now, who stuck around till his kid is grown. Whether you say that's wrong or right, if something's up with that marriage, should he stay or should he stay for his kid? I didn't wait because of my peace of mind. But the way our friend is built, he's built to stand there. Good or bad. We have to get out this mentality. Then her last point is, and this is where we're going to roll into what we're talking about tonight. Well, I'm going to get to the response. But she says, I mean, where is the man's responsibility and accountability? Now, I'm not going to, you know what? At first, I was going to roll into a response, but I'm going to hold that response till we get later in these videos. But what I want you to know is that the truth is a lot of men are evolving. As this dating and relationship drama, evolves as it goes on, right, as time continues, we as men have just stopped trying to force love and, out of broken systems. The systems are broken for us to have families. We've seen the emotional manipulation. We've seen the shifting goalposts. We've seen the unfair expectations. And now we're choosing to walk away. And then women write comments like this because all they see, they've fallen victim to the trap. The trap is, chicks, that media makes it like shit, like we're worse than what we really are. A majority of men are single and childless. Women are sleeping and sharing the same men. In the Black community, we have a high unwed single mother birth rate. The highest. And instead of coming, look, I don't care if people challenge what I'm saying. I don't claim to be right all the time. I'm just telling y'all from my experience and what I've seen and what I've learned, what I've experienced, what I talk to people about. I've been doing this shit for a while now. This is a career. This has been a career of mine now. I've been doing this for 5 years. I've been only doing this for 4 years. Right? So when you get women like this, they're not trying to have a bigger conversation. Just the language alone. Please read the language. Just read how she wrote that. You can hear the snarling in the goddamn comment. When did men ever want marriage? And who get to say what marriage is? Aren't having your kids enough for you men? We got to marry you too. And then I'm going to throw it back on you because this is the only thing y'all fucking know how to do. Excuse my French. Where is the man's responsibility and accountability? Ma'am, that's what I intend to show y'all tonight. That's what I intend to show you tonight, gents. I'm going to show you that men walking away from these Jezebel-ass women, some of them, not all, is the reaction, right? For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. When women start to be like, we independent, we don't need no man is good enough, you got to make this, there was an equal and opposite reaction that started to take place to balance the scales. I want y'all to think about this thing as balance. Now, the balance of scales might take a while, but it does balance. Okay? It does balance. And what's happening is you have a bunch of men who, or you're starting to have men, not all, but you start to get more and more men who are withholding their seed, whether it be forced or not, holding their seed. Even men that can get it just don't want to even deal with the headaches. Because there's a bunch of women running these streets right now who thought that men would chase them, who thought men would always chase them. And we stopped running because we fucking tired. We tired of running after y'all ass. We tired of running after somebody that don't really want us just so you can feel good. This is all the same shit that y'all complained about the dudes back in the day playing y'all ass. This is the thing y'all complained about. Now y'all are doing the exact same thing. Forgive us if we don't want to be a part of this shit because it is the cycle correcting itself. So tonight, I want to show you why men are not crying over relationships anymore. Not because we don't feel and not because we're mean or trying to really and truly, a lot of men really don't want to even try to be hurting women's feelings. We just don't even want to deal with y'all. We are not crying over this shit no more because we are learning. We are learning so much. We are learning that is not worth our time and effort. That there are more things that we should be doing. And tonight we're going to talk about it. All right. So before we get started, let me take a moment to acknowledge my gents. So I want to shout out to the gents. Man, listen, I don't know if y'all noticed, but I've been working on this channel. I've been trying to, I've been doing some things on the channel, right? I've been really trying to work to solidify my messaging, solidify how the videos flow, just try to make a better, well-rounded channel, okay? I am trying to be better. I can't do it without you guys. You guys have responded in kind. You all are watching the videos. You're liking, commenting. You are commenting with each other. Yo, this has been great, right? The channel's starting to get some new life again, and that's on me. I need to be better. You all have pushed me to be better. Thank you. So let's get to the comments. Shout out to everyone for showing up for this conversation tonight. Oh, I already wrote something down because I don't do this enough. Before I get to the comments, shout out to the brothers and the sisters that they're watching in the UK. Shout out to y'all over there. Shout out to the brothers and sisters watching from Canada. And shout out to the brothers and sisters watching from South Africa. I went down into my analytics and I want to see what other countries were peeping this place out. And so if you are from any of those other places, right, give me a shout out in the comments. Let me know where you're watching from. And thank you so much for being here, okay? I appreciate y'all, okay? Drop your city in the chat. Let me know if you're watching this live or you're catching the replay, all right? All right, let's see where we're at. Ooh, there's a lot of comments. Okay, y'all gonna have to excuse me. I'm gonna run through these. I can't catch every one of them, right? Shout out to Jay. Jay was here early. I see you, brother. Thank you so much. This is what I'm talking about, that type of dedication. King, now King had this story, y'all. Right, we're gonna read through the story. I will get to all parts of it. He said, I'm sitting in the park. Cops come because a man is yelling and swinging a 3.5-foot sword. The man talks with the cops and let him go with his sword. Yo, this is some crazy work right here. Okay, this is crazy because anybody else would have got shot in the back. Okay, let's just call it what it is. Jay laughed at it. Yeah, I was like, wow. Okay, a half an hour later, 5 cop cars show up to the playground. It's for a group of women with their kids. Take a guess who's yelling at and arguing with the cops. Oh my God. In the immortal words of Kevin Samuels, you can't make this shit up. You cannot. Jay said, what's up, y'all? Yo, Jay, thank you for being here. We got Preston in the house. He said, yo, brother Shaw, CTSG, big dog homie, and the uncut player city. Peeps. What's going on with you, Preston? Glad to have you here tonight. Thank you. Our boss, say, check it in, gents. Salute to the chat. Our boss, we're great to have you here tonight. We got Night Train in the house. I ain't one of them. Mike Train was talking about a comment I made earlier, talking about a brother who ain't crying over these relationships. I know what you're talking about, brother. I got you. Preston said, hell, shit is tough for everybody. Just pour yourself a nice tall glass to get over it. And he says, I'm really single and I don't care. I hear you, brother. I hear you, brother. I'm sorry to skip through it. I already talked to Jerome. Jerome said it's been a while. Like I said, I dropped the link to him. He said, I'm on the grind working. I get you, brother. We all up here working. I'm working to try to make this channel better, brother. I do. And then Preston gave a shout out to Jerome. Preston says he literally stopped caring. Our boss says we're good here, just like TSG created a virtual Barbados atmosphere for us the Jets. Absolutely, man. Right? Like, I wanted, that's exactly it. I wanted a place that, we can talk about these things and we can, hell, we have our jam sessions. Oh, wait, it's July. We're going to have to plan out our next Friday jam session. Won't be this week, obviously, because it's the 4th of July weekend, but I got to start thinking about when we're going to do our next Friday night jam session. So I'll keep you guys up to date about that, but you just reminded me of that. Our boss, thank you. The champ is in the house. Thank you for coming here. Thank you for being here. Everybody saying salute. Night Train, yes. He said, I want a wife, not a 304. And that's it. Ladies, any ladies that are listening, I know it's very few of y'all listening nowadays, but for the ones that are listening, that's it. We want a woman who is a wife. I ain't say wife qualities, who is a wife. Her heart, her spirit, her mind, her soul, the way she does things, the way she moves is a wife. Not a 304. Not a 304 trying to pose as a wife. We don't want that neither. Okay. Soul Heaven. Shout out to you, man. He says, salute TSG and the gents. Shout out to you, Soul Heaven. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Press said, of course, these people don't get it. They never will. And that's exactly the problem. That they can't stay out of their own effing way. Yep. Donald Wesley, one of my members in the house, he says, respects for all the veterans of the wars against black men. Again and again, the military is another dimension. Homeless veterans, attention, intention. Absolutely, Donald. I could go on forever talking about how veterans, go through it so much. The only problem I do have, and I like to bring this up just to not to bring too much of it, but there are a lot of veterans who veterans get crumbs. A lot of them get largely ignored, and you have a both sides issue. It's almost like they give just enough to pacify veterans, and then they just forget about them. And what I've seen in the last 6 months with cutting veteran programs, this is a damn shame, right? Veterans voted to have better, and they're getting worse right now. So, preach. Social media is such a curse, turning women into wannabe masculine, turning men into estrogen crash dummies. Yeah, you see it all the time. Our boss is not lying. I'm sure the majority of men that have children never asked that woman to have a child for them. Quite the opposite, actually. You might be right about that one. But what I heard about marriage is women play Texas Hold'em, winning stupid prizes from the divorce game. Oh, man. Donald says, do your part. A fire relationship is we not all about me. Yeah. Yes. That's a great point. That's what I think is really missing from relationships today. Because people get in them and they're thinking about what can I get out of a relationship. If both people, this theoretical, okay, but if both people are pouring into the other person unselfishly, I'm not saying you're not going to have problems and you're not going to have fights, right? What I'm saying is if both people are trying their best to pour into each other or at least consider the other's feelings, right, when they do certain things and communicate expectations and stuff like that, then there's a higher chance for it to win. But everybody's like, what you going to do for me? You going to pay this? You going to do this? Blah. And even some dudes are like, some dudes don't get it. Like, well, a wife is supposed to just cook, clean, and stay at home. Well, that's not necessarily true nowadays, right? We don't live in a society that is set up for women to stay at home anyway. That's a whole nother discussion. But if you lay those expectations out, you won't get married. Like, you'll know this ain't the woman get married to because she don't agree with those expectations. This is decisions that you make. These are things that you need to learn early on, early as possible. So it's not to wage the relationship on for too long. Thank you for that, Donald. No news. There is no Black community, just Pookie's rosters and some kids. You know what? I broke it down in a video, no news. I said pretty much you got Black people and you got ninjas. And like there's two separate communities right there. You got regular Black folks and you got ninjas. And if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. But like it's almost like we live in two separate existences, and we, us Black folk just trying to make it, man. We trying to better ourselves, but we stuck in this damn system. And then the other side, they don't even see a future for themselves. They just get carried away with the trends and with the wind, and they don't, they don't have nothing to look forward to, man. It's sad. All right, how many comments we got? God dang, y'all got a lot of comments. All right, I'm gonna try to run through these. Sorry, I'm gonna run through them. Gotta get to the first clips. Where we at? Not only are they 304 trying. Yeah, they are 304. And yeah, if anything, these people choose to struggle by being strong, independent, don't need a man. So how's that working out for them? Jay says a girl named Sarah will say some ignorant like this. Not only are them 304s wanting to lead the pack, but then now their strategy is all wrong and can't even lead a fifth grader past the exam. Walking positive, worthless, Jezza baggage, crumb snatch, and scallywags. Yo, that's a good one. That one, I'm chuckling on the inside on that one. Where's the man's accountability? Not with the Pookies y'all having kids with. Boom. That's the good one. Shout out to Baby Funk 1975. I already read that one. Donald says, no one needs, much less wants, an unwilling, divisive spouse in the house. Hell no. Not at all. You can't hold YNs to the same standard as real men. Real men move in silence and get shit done. YNs are emotional crash dummies. And that's what I'm saying, bro. I'm saying we're divided. I'm not like you called out YNs, but I just was saying black people and just ninjas, right? And that covers both men and women, right? Because there are, some regular hard folk working women and men that just want to do the right thing. And then on the flip side, you got the ninjas. But if you talk about YNs, and then some of these women are attracted to these dudes. Like, you got to really question what's going on in your life when you're attracted to a man, a grown-ass man, or like I said, grown-ass man, a grown man that wears a ski mask everywhere. Come on, man. You play the divorce game, you enjoy Lonely Prize Lane. Shout out to Tony Miss. Is this a weekly thing? I'll be here if it is. Yes, we try to be here every Wednesday at somewhere between 4 and 5 p.m. Is when I try to do this. I don't get the biggest numbers on my live stream like some of the bigger creators, but I do the live streams, and I've been doing the live streams for a lot of years because it's my way to actually be engaged and chat with my members, my gents, the people that support the channel. And that's very important to me. So, half of the videos I don't even monetize because I curse on them, and I'm just like, hey, you know what? This was just a conversation I'm having with the gents. You know what I mean? So shout out to you, Tony Miss. Thank you for being here. Night Train says 1.5 million of them kids are from men of other races. Ooh, we starting to get deep. Let me just say this before I forget, because I wanted to make sure that I said that. And Night Train, let me leave this on the screen so I can remember. Tonight's discussion is about us, right? There's going to be more men in these clips tonight talking than it is women. Not because I'm listening to the woman that was in the comments saying, where's the man's accountability? Like, I'm not, I can't believe I got that accent out. I couldn't do that twice if I wanted to. Where's the man's accountability? Okay, I was able to do it twice. But that's not even the point. The point I'm trying to say is, in tonight's discussion, we're not talking about one of the ways that men are not worried about relationships is because they're, passport broing it, dating women from other races. We're not talking about that tonight, okay? I swear we're getting there, okay? I don't know if y'all know, but the conversations are starting to connect even closer, okay? I'm keeping the videos and all the stuff really tight together. We will get there. We will get there, but we're not there yet. I still have a bunch more to talk about with the other stuff. But you're not wrong. Donald says, Mr. C on point. Many men have evolved to not be involved to begin with the resolve. Yep. Women's turn, y'all. Shout out to XL Pro, man. Great to see you in the chat. Thank you so much for being here. Jay says Kevin Samuels was right about these new generation of women. Absolutely was. He was actually on point. Matrix, great seeing you. Relationships are turned into transactionship. Yes, it is. Learning is earning. Yep, we're going to talk about that tonight too. God dang. We got a lot of people in the chat. Let me run through these. They obviously think that there's an actual I in team work, not making the dream hurt. Yep. Antics semantics. I like that. Love your content, TSG. As a 6 foot, 100K earning black man, I can tell you that I don't consider a relationship with black women. She should have to be 5 foot, solid 10 from Brazil. God dang. Shout out to Antics Semantics, man. Thank you for being here tonight. Listen, I get you. And listen, we do need to have that conversation. We do need to have this conversation. And I promise you, we will have this conversation. That's what I was trying to tell you earlier. Right now, it's about what men are saying, what we're saying. Okay? Because I like to bring it back and center it back on us. So that way, after we center it on ourselves and what other men are saying, then now when we go watch these videos, we're coming from a place of all being in unison. Yo, this is collectively, this is how we feel it. And that's why we see these things. And I want it to all connect. Shout out to you. Uh, I'm at work 9 to 5 casino in Vegas. I'm a normal black man. Matrix, we in the, oh yeah, that's right. We in the same city. That's right. I got you, brother. 100K gang in the building. Yep. We exist. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. These parents, the last 25 years, terrible. Oh yeah. Yeah, he's horrible. DJ Punch, he said I'm in the building. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you being here tonight. Thank you so much. Why are you looking for that? Looking for you too. Oh, wait. What you looking for, that's what's looking for you too. Yeah, that's a great point. Yep. The Pookie-licious carousel felons and the uncut chickens. I trust you. Do your thing. No, it's all good, bro. We gonna get there. It's just I'm doing a YouTube. I would just say this because some of y'all might not know, but YouTube was kind of really suppressing the content on this channel. The algorithm is new. So now I've had to really go back to the drawing board of what it means to be a YouTuber in order to try to like get this channel out of the mud. And it's starting to work. As long as you all support every video that comes out, this will work. And I know I used to put out a video real quick. I just want to put out a real quick community post real quick. But I know I used to do videos on Mondays and Fridays and a live stream on Wednesday. Some weeks you're going to see videos Mondays through Friday. Sometimes you're going to see one video, one live stream. You might see videos on the weekends coming up. Look, I am not going to hold this channel back any longer by just making 2-3 videos a week. Okay. If I have more to put out, I'll put out a video every day, even if that video is a 5-minute discussion. But I am working on a bunch of other things on the side. So sometimes that's not always possible. But what I want y'all to do is when y'all see those videos pop up, please support them so we can grow this thing. All right. Passports up. I'm going to catch this one real quick. DJ Punch says, so since I'm here, I want to chop it up about women with kids. How you feel about it? I just turned 40. I don't have kids. I would prefer I date a woman with no kids like me, but I'm not against it. Okay, here's what I thought. Here's what my thoughts are. And I said this, shout out to y'all know, brother, y'all know Kings and Dreams, right? Kings and Dreams channel. If you don't know, go over there, check out the brother, subscribe to his channel. I went on one of his live streams, his podcast recently, a couple weeks ago, and Kings and Dreams and I, we were talking about men dating single moms. And I don't want to stay on this too long because it's its own topic. But the way I feel about it is if you're a single man and you've never had kids before, you should not date a woman that has kids. Shouldn't do it. You say, well, Sean, well, I'm 40 and blah, blah, blah. I get it. It's actually the older you get, it's going to be harder for you not to date a woman with kids. So at some point, yes, you might have to. But if all possible, avoid it. The difference is because she has had kids and you haven't. So it's not to say you can't be around kids, but it's different when you've already had kids and you have your own kids and you know how to respond to those kids, right? So you know how to respond to her kids. But as the man that's never had kids, it's not to say that you can't relate to those kids. It's just going to be harder because you don't have it. And you just haven't had your own experience. So I would say avoid it if you can. But again, the older you get, that's going to be tough. The other thing that's going to be hard when you get older is that women nowadays are starting to get to the point where they're like, well, how are you 40 with no kids? So then it becomes a red flag. And that's not your fault. You've been smart, right? But because you're 40, you can still have kids, no matter what your age is. You can be 50 and have kids. You can be 60 and have kids. You can be 70 and have kids, okay? So they're going to try to shame you based on not having kids by 40, but you're not on the same clock as a woman, nor should you be, all right? I'm going to catch 1 or 2 more comments. Time to flood the algorithm with great content, Sean. All we see now is a promotion of 304 culture. Absolutely, we do. Never go for another man's failed conquest. Idea, man. I like that one. Oh, what are you talk? What are you talking about, brother, homie? What mud? From what I see, you dropping nothing but truth pies. No, no, no. Look. I'm trying to bring that elbow from the top turnbuckle, brother, with this content. DJ Point says definitely been smart. If I could be, it's a long story. I'll come back in the chat for another time. Salute. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I grew up in the hood, moved out generations ago. Would never move that mentality into my big empty house. Absolutely. Listen, man, I grew up in the hood too, and I actually, antics, semantics, I had to actually kind of be real with myself. Other than when I first moved to this city and I just kind of moved in the hood. I mean, I'm talking about the hood is still bad around here, but it ain't like it is where I grew up. But it's still the hood, right? People robbed your stuff. I had my car broken into, right? That kind of hood. Other than that, I haven't really lived in the hood in a long time now that I thought about it. And I'm not one of them dudes who's like, well, you know, man, you ain't lived in the hood, you ain't got no credit. Look, man, I did my time in there, you know, and I feel blessed and fortunate enough that I ain't got to stay there, that I ain't got to move back permanently to the hood. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, West Coast brothers have great, yes, yeah, yeah. I grew up down south. And now that I live in the West Coast, bro, I'm like, I see shit completely different now. So, Evan, the best thing I can tell you about women with kids, you have to be okay with acquiring third-party kids, grandparents, aunts, uncles, and anybody else she's had a history with. That is a true statement. That is a true statement. Now, listen. Let's get into tonight's first topic, okay? So tonight's first topic, right? Overall, we're going to ask the question why Black men are not stressing on relationships right now. Okay, that's the theme, the overall theme, and we're going to hear from a couple brothers about that. Okay, just want to say that again, thank you for everybody for being here tonight. Make sure y'all hit that like button. I just want to get all the stuff out of the way before we get started, because once we get rolling. Once we get rolling, this train ain't gonna stop. Okay. So one of the first lies people love to tell, right, is that us men are lonely out here. That we're secretly hurting. We're desperate. We're praying for a second chance. Okay. But I'm about to show you a clip of a brother here who's going to say what some of us feel and what you all have expressed in the comments thus far. All right. And let's be honest, I just put out a video about the stats and the stats back about to back up what this brother said. So put a 1 in the chat if you guys can hear this. But let me catch this real quick. Wade says, hello, everyone. Shout out to you, Wade. Thank you for being here. DJ Punch said, I left my relationship 11 years ago because she took my engagement ring off and said she lost it. Wow. Thank you for sharing it. All right. I'm going to put this up. Let me know. That's not what I want to do. That's what I want to do. All right. Here we go.
Shit, being single, that don't mean you lonely. You know, being alone don't make you lonely. Single is okay. I mean, some of us have mastered being single to the point where that's like being with somebody, being single. I got me, motherfucker. You dig? I take me out. You know, I can buy myself things. I make myself happy. You know what I'm saying? That's a beautiful thing. You dig what I'm saying? That's beautiful. I ain't got nobody on my ass all day. Ain't nobody bothering me. I ain't got to make a motherfucker happy, which the fuck, that ain't my job anyway. But some of you motherfuckers seem to think it's other people's job to make you happy. But being single, I don't have nobody fucking bothering me. I have peace. That is a hell of an upgrade to have peace. So being single is like having someone because you have yourself. Who's better than that, Taz?
All right. Let's listen. He brings up some good points, right? The one thing that he brings up is, or his sentiment is, being alone isn't the same as being lonely. Okay? Being alone alone is not the same thing as being lonely. Now, I have siblings, and I grew up an only child. So when I was younger, I used to feel lonely, right? And then for some reason, life kept sticking me in more and more of these situations where I was alone, right? Where even when I was in the Navy, I was on submarines and I was in these scenarios where I'm the only black person in the room, and right, I'm all these scenarios. And I realized something, gents. I realized that my upbringing, being as an only child, helped me prepare for the times when I was going to be alone as an adult. And I can tell you now that I'm not lonely as an adult. I don't get lonely. I might need to, I like to have the company of, be around people. And then when I done being around people, I love being by myself. I love having alone time, but I'm not lonely. Now, y'all know, if you've been watching this channel, you know I have a girl. And, I enjoy the time with her because she's pleasant to be around. But they got some dudes that are around women, right? And they lonely inside the relationship because of the way some of these women act. Loneliness doesn't come from not having a woman, right? Loneliness comes for a man from not having purpose, because you can't tell me that you lonely and you operating on your purpose. You got shit to do. I'm never lonely. I'm always busy. I ain't got time to be lonely. Okay? I don't. I haven't had time to be lonely in a lot of years. But I can understand there's times where it gets quiet. And if you don't have your purpose set, I'm not saying that quietness don't get loud sometimes. What I'm trying to tell you is if you're not on your purpose as a man, then yes, that quietness is going to get loud. But when you know what it is you're supposed to be doing, you ain't got time to be lonely, brothers. Right? That's why so many men right now are at peace. They're at peace because they're not chasing women. They're chasing progress. All right. So I want to see what y'all got to say about this one down in the chat, up in the chat. Let's go right here. Majority of black men have no kids and now becoming aware that we don't have to deal with that crap that failed the community. We have options. Use them, brothers. Exactly. Yes. That's exactly what I was just talking about. Right? We're going to talk about this more later. I was about to speak more on this comment, but we're going to get into this. Absolutely. Wade says, as a partly Caribbean person myself, I used to have a terrible childhood with these of women, aka Black American ladies in my school. It's very crazy too. Yep. Thank you for that comment. Who desperate? Men got options. Shout the passport life. That's right. The majority of us have been there, done that, and are still relatively young and healthy. Exactly. Yep. We live in a wildly unstable world with rampant inflation, disease, political upheaval, class, and racial strife. If you have both oars in the water, relationships are the least of your worries. Dennis the Menace, that couldn't, God dang, that comment came in and said, what did the five fingers say to the face? That's what that comment did. As a gated community, suburban raised brother, the hood girls gave me hell in junior high school, no doubt. Oh, yeah, man. Yeah. I lived in the hood, they gave me hell, man. Even when you dealing with them, it gets, even dealing with them is hell, bro. It don't matter. Bro is legit happy and have found his peaceful inner self. Oh, absolutely. Yes, he did. That brother right there, like, I'm good. I now run the Asian women. They just more respectful. I prefer Asian now. No women are perfect, but as a man, I am scared of being around masculine ladies. Yeah, listen, a lot of men or I say it all the time on this channel, Wade, right? Go where you are appreciated, not tolerated. And that's another one of the things. Again, we're not going to cover that tonight. I just want to make that clear, gents. But one of the ways that men are adapting and not sweating these relationships, not sweating these women, right? Not sweating trying to be with up under somebody, is because they've actually learned enough about themselves to open up their options, and they learn that they might have different preferences that more click and coincide with who they actually are in the inside. And so now, because a lot of black women, like when you talk about the black community, a lot of black women basically ran brothers off. Like, and they tell you, listen, oh my God, let me put myself back up on screen. Here's the sick part about it, gents. I'm sorry, this popped in my head. They are on camera right now. They are on camera telling folk, oh, when I see a black, we're going to talk about this in a future video. I'm telling you, it's coming, okay? When I see a black man with a white woman, it makes my stomach turn. I'm a blah, right? What does that black man with that white woman got to, or that other woman got to do with you? What do got to do with you? And the same women and these same gents, look, you cannot make this shit up. The same women in these same interviews on these same podcasts can also fix their mouth to say, but I don't feel that, but I always feel a sense of pride when I see a black woman with a white man. Wait. How can you fix your mouth to say that? So this is why I say, you know what? Can't nobody live your life for you but you. And if you're going to sit there, gents, and worry about what I almost said the wrong word. What these 304s say about who you with and what you doing, right? And you only got one life to live, and their opinion ain't going to matter in a few minutes, a year, 2 years, 5 years, right? I'll give you another example. Let's go. Everybody put yourself, quick exercise. Everybody put yourself back into high school. Think about the people that you had to deal with in high school that maybe had a negative opinion of you or had some mess to talk about you. Now, for all of you that's been out of high school for at least 5 years, preferably 10 years or more, I'm really talking to my people that's been out of high school and been and basically at a reunion level or more, right? So 28 and up, right? Let's call it 29 and up, right? Does any of that shit that they said about you in high school matter today? Does any of the beef that you had 10 years ago from high schoolers matter today? Hell no, it don't. It don't matter. And that's another thing that men have learned, that what the hell y'all say about us and who we with don't matter. Y'all opinion is not valid. And here's the worst part. I'm with somebody, and these women who complaining ain't got a man. You can't make this shit up. You literally can't make this shit up. Oh my God. You can't make it up, man. Our boss says, bro, is legit. I already read that. Wade says, yep, I already read that. The hood servitive. All right. That's a line from Heat. I am alone. I am not lonely. De Niro. Yeah. Oh, that's cold. That was cold. Nice. It's a nice callback. I like that. The absolute best thing I can tell you about women with 10 kids is not to deal with the chicken malarkey shit chiz in the first place. Don't live in misery and catastrophe city. Shout out to Gary, man. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. DJ says, peace over confusion. Find your purpose and make a list of goals and go after them and just have fun and live life. You only get one. DJ Punch. I need to get the sound effects thing going. Right? That is absolutely correct. That's absolutely correct, man. Like, listen, why don't you look, especially for my gents that's 35 and above, right? 35 is right when I was starting to get it. You really gonna get it at 40. So all my gents that are 40 and above, y'all know what I'm talking about, right? It's almost like a switch turns. Man, for most men to start getting about 40, because their mortality is starting to come into play. And when your mortality comes into play, especially knowing that we do die before these women, but why are you worried about what they say, man? Like, we about to pass away, bro. Like, you got time to be worried about what they think about you. Man, go ahead and do your thing, bro. You know, work on your purpose. You know, be the best version of yourself and keep it pushing, bro. You know what I mean? Wade says, I make sure to chase progress of the digital artist cartoon, manga, fan-made animator here, and soon I'm getting ready to sign up for freelance for it. There you go, man. You wake up every day and you have, matter of fact, it almost sounds like you not only are chasing your passion, but you're doing something that you love, man. And if you, and I don't want to go to that cliche, if you're doing something you love, you're not working. I'm saying, man, turn that love of what you're doing into your purpose. How can it benefit others? How can it change other people's lives? And never lose sight of that, because money ain't gonna make you happy. Money might make you comfortable, and that's fine. But what you should be chasing is the combination. Hey, I'm comfortable, but I'm able to change and affect others' lives. That is purpose. Find it, find it, find it. Right? My bankroll got blew up once I stopped dating and traveling. Yeah, bro. it's amazing how, or you know what? You know what? Your bankroll also go up. Like, see, this is how I know a lot of these women are capped. Passport life, shout out to you. If you do got a good woman, right? Like, there's a key. If you got a good woman, yeah, you might spend a little money in the beginning, but once y'all been together, if that woman ain't like, if that woman ain't helping you either be a better man, a better person, you're better, your spirit is better, you're happier, your skin is healthier, you are healthier, your bank account is better. If that shit ain't starting to happen with the woman you with, you really got to question why. Because that's what a good woman is supposed to do for you. If you are ambitious, she's going to help that ambition, not slow it down. Does that make sense? This is something that I don't hear enough of. A good woman don't slow down your ambition. She helps it. Of course, real self-respecting men have options, but use them for purposes and resources. Exactly. Running us off daily. Black women today have the most STDs, most out of wedlock, worst attitude, most overweight, go online thinking they queens. Queens don't let peasants in our castle, let alone procreate with them. Ooh, that idea, man. Oh, nice. With the 5 fingers, say to the face. God dang, that was a slap. Yo, craziness. Unfortunately, Black community is the race of joke and laughter. Seems to me like, and Black women are the forefront because time way them 3 or 4 have been brainwashed. It's mind blowing. Yeah. Preston says, in all seriousness, from what I've heard, is that you literally can't trust any woman, including Chinese women. Listen, you have to understand something, and I want to make this clear, right? I'm gonna leave this comment up here. The thing about it is, no matter where you go, you can be a passport bro. And for all my dudes who have traveled, y'all know I'm about to tell the truth. You can go anywhere in this world. And yeah, you might be able to find women of different cultures who are going to treat you differently, this, that, and the third. But you have to remember that woman nature is everywhere, right? There is a core level of, hey, I'm trying to survive. I am looking for that feeling of safety and protection from the man that I'm with. I will do what I need to do to survive. I'm going to do what I have to do it. That's why, like, when there would be battles between 2 kingdoms, right? The kingdom that was kind of winning the battle, typically they slaughtered all the men, and then they would take the wives or take the women. And the women who didn't abide, they got rid of them. But what happened? A lot of times, the women would go with them. They would have kids for these other dudes because they were trying to survive. They weren't trying to get ran through. They were conquered. And they would learn to be with their next husbands as a survival tactic. And listen, we can sit there and say, oh, they're wrong for that. They should have just died. That's not what their purpose is. Their purpose is to be that vessel to have kids, to survive so they can have the kids so those kids can survive. So when you understand that about human nature and about women today, where their nature is and where they're at, right? Because they try to act like dudes nowadays. Then you can understand, you know how to move. You're like, okay, when I go to this other country, yeah, this woman might be telling me sweet things. This woman might be coming at me a certain way, but this woman is also doing it because it's a survival tactic. She's trying to look and procreate, hold down the best thing that she can do. That's around the world. All right. So, but I don't knock a man for having a preference. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you as a man should not be shamed for having preferences. That's what happens way too goddamn much. Judite warrior, look how they act on Pop the Balloon. Absolutely. Look how far removed they are from their own, like from what is reasonable behavior just by watching these damn shows. Dating women over 40 today means that you're going to have these women putting out every minute of your life on every social media outlet that she's on. They're more committed to that than their man. Ooh. King with another top turnbuckle comment. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I actually have empathy. King, gents, I have empathy for some of these women who put their stories online. I do. I'll hear them. Look, I'm not a cold, heartless bastard, but I'll listen to the stories. And then some of them, I'm like, okay, obviously, I have this story that I've heard. But then on the flip side, sometimes you hear those stories, and I start thinking, like, I know why she ain't got no man. If you feel the need that you got to post and tell everybody on the internet everything going on with you, I met a man recently. Oh yeah, we went on a very beautiful date. He was such a nice man, and I think things are going well, and I can't wait to tell you all about my next date. Listen, man, the real dudes that I know don't put their business out in the street like that about their relationship, what they doing. Real dudes I know don't put their business out in the streets. And, for anybody asking why, all I say is look at women. Look at how they put their business out to their girlfriends, and their girlfriends, their family, and everybody will wreck their relationships. Because they putting too much. I'm not saying they can't talk to their people. I'm saying they put too much of their business out in the streets. Every little thing that's in the relationship going on. And people be knowing too much. And that way, people know too much, they give too much of their own opinions. And their opinions may not necessarily work for what's going on in your relationship. Do you understand what I'm saying? So most dudes are like, yo, why am I gonna put my business out in the streets like that? For somebody to come in, or, if I got something pretty good, that might make somebody want to slide in and mess up what I got. That happened to women all the time. They be yapping their mouth about everything going on. Oh, girl, he be blowing my back out. And you know what other women think? I want a man to blow my back out. And the next thing you know, she flirting with your dude and all that stuff like that. Come on, man. Man, all right, we got to move on, though. We got a lot of comments. Oh, let me catch this real quick. Yeah, but TSG, if it's transactional, you want the most bang for your buck. It's all transactional. Yeah, you want the most bang. Yep, absolutely. Women culture is the only portion of the puzzle because it affects their way of thinking, but personality and their true self is the right fit. That one got to find for a good match. Absolutely. Older women trying to compete with the younger ones, but ain't none of them worth our investment with time and money. Ladies, that's the way men feel. I'm just telling y'all. Our community went from owning our own intact nuclear family, finally getting our civil rights. What our women do, destroy it in 2 generations. Ooh. Black women and the government committed genocide. Oh my God. Pause. Right on. I don't know where the pause moment was. Maybe I said something wrong, but thank you for that one. Over 20 million black people missing because of, yep, control alt deletes, yep. I have absolutely no sympathy for people who make dumb decisions and blame everyone for the mistakes they made. Absolutely. All right, let's get to the next one. I'm going to set up this next clip. And this is a very quick clip. This is actually from
the real.
Hold on, let me set this up first. All right, we good on that? I lost my mouse cursor. What the hell is going on? All right, I think I got it. So this next clip I got is kind of interesting. Okay, they got a women. Oh, look, I got a women's. There's a woman in this next clip, and she's gonna try to explain how marriage used to benefit men. How it used to benefit us. Okay, this is you got Coach Greg Adams in here. He's gonna step in and he's gonna add his take to it. I want y'all to listen closely to what she says about men and access and how times have changed. It's absolutely amazing to hear this come out of her mouth. But let's go.
The real reason we have a male loneliness epidemic is because marriage was DEI for men. There are so many men who are single now who 50 or 60 years ago, a woman would have settled and married.
Damn. She ain't lying, bruh. That's true. That's exactly what the men are saying. We used to be able to get women easily, and we used to be able to get married, and women would settle down, and they wouldn't run the streets until they were 30. All right. They would get married at 20. That she's saying exactly that. Yep.
Okay. Now that was a quick clip. But the reason why I put this clip in here was because this is one of the sticking points of contention when it comes to talking between men and women. And I wanted to use this clip because, again, what she's saying, part of it, there are facts, right? The fact of the matter is, yes, men were able to find wives a little bit better, a little bit easier back in the day, right? But she goes on to use shaming tactics. And the shaming tactics she used, she decided to say that marriage is DEI for men. And listen, for a lot of men, they had got a wife because they wanted her to basically cook and clean and basically take care of the home. And yeah, it was all that stuff. Okay. Now, the thing about it is society, still kind of went on. You still had these families. You had families that contrary to popular belief, not every man in these marriages was just slapping a woman upside the head and stuff like that. Right? If that's the case, we wouldn't see these old ass couples together. We had people that just made it through. Now, fast forward, we're seeing now how families are when, with the way things are, with women having this quote unquote freedom. Women got all the freedom in the world. And now, kids are the worst that they are. Kids can't read. Kids don't have structure. All these negative ass statistics. You didn't have these same statistics when you had a man and a woman together. So instead of focusing on, when men had it better or women have it better with marriage, why don't we focus on the fact that our kids are suffering because we don't have a man and a woman together? Absolutely. Anthony says a good point right here, right? Marriage was survival for women. Yes. Kevin Samuels always brought up in his live streams, he said that the reason women are able to enjoy things the way they are is because men have civilized the world in a way that women are safe. But women still rely on men to keep them safe. Because if there was no laws, if there was no police, if there was no way to enforce what's going on, you would have a bunch of lawless men, not all, but you would definitely have some that women couldn't walk on the streets by themselves. They couldn't do it. If men didn't enforce the laws to keep people safe, women would not be safe. But I think people forget that point. And so you have this minimizing, right? You had this woman think she made a point, but she's missing the bigger picture. Back in the day, marriage worked because women wanted to be wives. And the men used to be respected for being providers. Now, today, you have a lot of men who are walking away because they just don't see the value exchange anymore. Just like you all said in the comments. The value exchange is different. You're right. It's no longer worth it for men. So men are walking away. Men are just done. All right. I'm going to catch a few comments from that point, and then I'm going to move on. Donald says, does anybody remember when you married to have children and raise a fine family together before the BS that seems to never end? Yeah, to end never. Yeah. That was the other thing. Now, there was something I wanted to bring up, Donald, that I don't think that let's don't get kind of brought up in the subject. And I don't want to get too deep in this because it's a topic for another type of channel, but part of why this has been allowed, and I say it's been allowed, okay? It's been allowed to happen because the society has moved from one that was industrial or manufacturing, farm, agriculture, where family was needed, to one that's one of technology. So you don't need a family anymore. You need individuals because we have moved to a consumer-based economy. And yeah, you say, what about families? They don't give a shit about that. The rich people don't care about families. They care about money. And women spend the most money. Women are huge consumers. Us men, we go to the store, we know exactly what we want to buy, don't we, gents? You know exactly what you're going to get when you go to the store. You might look at one other thing, all right, and you make a mental note. You just want to see it for yourself in person, you make a mental note. You're either going to buy it or you're not. But for the most part, we know what the hell we want when we go to the store. Women will go to the store with emotion and emotionally shop around the store. And they set up the stores in a particular way to elicit the most emotion and the most reaction. It's going to get you to get to the register and buy more shit. I saw a video on this. When you walk in, you come in, there's fresh fruits and vegetables, and then you move over, the bakery is nearby, so you smell the bread, right? And then they take you through a maze, and then all of the notice toward the back of the store, that's where all the real, the dairy and all that shit is way to the other side of the store. So you have to travel all the way through all that stuff. I'm bringing this up for a point. The point is, we live in a consumer economy. And the powers that be that want our money don't care about families. They don't care about if we live. They don't care about none of that shit. They care about making more money. And they are so selfish. They like, well, I'm gonna die. As long as I have money during my lifetime, they'll figure it out. And our women have bought into this mindset, this consumeristic mindset. Like, what the hell does a man making $1 million got to do with you when you ain't never seen $1 million or $250,000 or 100 million or 100,000? But you ain't never seen the inside of Ruth's Chris, and you out here talking about I need to go to Ruth's Chris. Come on, man. That shit don't even make no sense, bro. I'm gonna catch a few more of these comments. We'll get out of here. Get to the next part. Where we at? I'm gonna stop. I got it right here. I'll take this one, TSG. In response to that DEI for men, unfortunately, feminism created the majority of these loose women who irresponsibly added these kids in society. Absolutely, yes, exactly. So now, instead of having kids brought into a family structure, which has been statistically known to produce a better outcome of child, these women are going at it by themselves. And now you have this worst product of kid. And that's fine because it all feeds the system. These dysfunctional kids feed the machine that is helping to keep families apart. And every time you have a woman who speaks up for that, it's helping the system. At that point, we ain't got shit to talk about because your knowledge on just the way things are working is not at a level that I would ever find myself that needing to talk to. If you don't understand that you're being used, we ain't really got nothing to talk about. If anything, marriage is a winning ticket to divorce, and the escape plan for greedy leech gremlins always leads to self-sabotage. We will have to lose the unconscious, respect and protect the conscientious conscious. Yeah. The delusion, shout out to Dennis, man. Shout out to you, brother. The delusion of a lot of these women when they talk like her is they purposely forget that they were also benefiting from the men when they had them in their lives. Yep. Security was their primary benefit. Absolutely. They don't feel like they don't need you for security because they're safe, right? Hell, they so safe, they can lie that something happened to them and people will believe them. The crazy part is I feel like women just want millionaires. Oh, so yeah. And that's what usually happens in Western countries or Western-related countries. Yep. Family values and culture disappeared in the 2000s once popular media shows like Jersey Shore started taking over mainstream media. Yeah, social media and the widespread of the internet, it did some good, obviously, right? Because it opened up people to other cultures and things that they've never seen. It opened up libraries of information that was hard to find normally. Because if all my older dudes, y'all remember, we have to go to the library. You have to go get your library card. You need to know how to read the Dewey Decimal System. You have to use microfiche to see old news articles and shit like that. So there's a lot of good that came from the social media era. Like, I started thinking about it like, how did we used to get around and know where to go in the city? And you know what it was? It wasn't like you used a map to get around. It's like you would see a place and you see how to get there and you would just get there. Or you had to figure it out. You didn't have GPS. You drove around until you found it. So now, with social media now, there's a psychological warfare that's been used against us through media. And it's been going on for a lot of years. And so here we are. We are seeing the love child, the bastard love child of media and social media and disinformation and, a disregard of the truth. We're seeing the bastard love child of it. And it's disgusting. All right. Y'all got a lot of comments. I'm gonna let y'all keep going. I gotta move on. If not, we're gonna be all night. All right. So in my next clip, This brother made an observation.
Hold on, so let me get this.
And it's a very short clip. I mean, very short. So we're not going to stay that long on it. But there's a question that we have to ask ourselves, right? If we are so lonely, right? I'm not saying there's not dudes out there that's not saying that they're lonely. Where's the proof? And this brother in this next clip is going to make an observation that's going to be hard to really be, compel against. But here we go.
Hold on, so let me get this right. The ladies keep saying that there's a male loneliness epidemic, but I don't see any videos of men saying that they're lonely. And if they are lonely, they're not saying they're lonely and they want a woman. I don't. Who's saying?
Now, I put this clip in here because I have yet to see a black man on video saying that they're lonely. I haven't seen it. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, and I'm not saying that there aren't lonely black men. I'm not saying that. That would be absolutely incorrect. But I don't think I'm not saying that black men don't have a problem with what's going on, but you don't see them making videos saying they're lonely. Now, shout out to my lighter brothers out there. Okay. I have seen videos of white dudes talking about they're lonely. I've seen that. And let's be real, the statistics, hold on real quick. I'm gonna just bring it up. So, so let's do this. I'm gonna put this on there, right? Y'all may not be able to see this too well. I get it, but please bear with me, okay? In 2023, men died by control-alt-delete themselves 3.8 times more than women. White males accounted for 68% of control-alt-deletes in 2023, okay? And then, yeah. So, and it's also usually for men who are from less affluent areas. Now, this thing says that gender roles may be relevant. Men have a tendency to view themselves as a failure if they aren't able to provide for their families. During financial downturns, the BBC reports that the control-alt-delete rates increase, making men more at risk if they lose their job during a recession. Okay? So, I brought this up to make a point. There are men who are going through it right now. And we're going to see more men go through it, not just because they're lonely, but because you have an economy right now that is working against normal people. Plain and simple. It's working against people even who have skills, who are professionals. People are struggling to find jobs in certain locations. All right. So this isn't going to be just a man problem. This is also a woman problem. That's actually another video that I was thinking about making here in the near future, because I'm starting to see it pop up more and more on my timeline. Okay. But again, all right, the loudest voices that's crying online about being alone, from what I've been seeing, isn't men. In some instances, what you are seeing is the consequences of bad dating behavior finally starting to catch up. A lot of men may share their stories, but a lot of them not running to the internet with these tears that we're starting to see. The ones, us men who are trying to do what we need to do, we're working, we're building, we're growing, we're starting to, because we don't have the distractions, we're actually able to get onto our purpose or start working toward our purpose. So, you know, again, now I want to make this clear before we move on from this segment and before I go to comments. If you are feeling like, hey, I don't know what to do and I'm alone, blah, blah, blah. Well, first of all, we do this live stream every Wednesday. You are not alone. Come through, come holler with other brothers. But if that's not enough and you feel like you can't deal with it, call and get help, right? I talk about it on this channel all the time, how, I went to therapy for a while, right? And then when I needed it, and I had to work through it. And the one thing that I learned from my therapist, listen, you can go to therapy for the rest of your life. There's a reason to go to therapy for the rest of your life if you want a reason. But therapy isn't for you to be just sitting on somebody's couch spewing your feelings all the time. The thing about therapy is what it's supposed to be, and a lot of people don't get is when you go to therapy, when you're supposed to learn what your coping mechanisms are and how to deal with different issues. That's what therapy is supposed to teach you. First, it finds out what the problem is, what happened to you, and then how do you have the right coping mechanisms to deal with what happened to you and move on and have a normal life. That's what it's supposed to be for. And that requires taking accountability. So if any of you all are having any issues, please go get help. Go talk to somebody professional, right? But just know that it's about having the tools to deal with things. So me, I get depressed sometimes. That's why I work out all the time, right? Because when I work out, I feel better. I don't get depressed. So I know for me, one of my coping mechanisms is when I'm feeling down, I bring my ass to the gym. Sometimes I work out with my girl. Sometimes I need to do that by myself so I can cope and deal with my stuff with me, for me, with me, by me. Okay? I wanted to put that out there because I wanted to be known that I'm not insensitive to the fact that some men are lonely. Some men may not, feel like there's hopelessness. I'm not discounting the fact that there are men who feel this way. I just personally believe, or from what has helped me, is having a purpose, something to get up to do every day. Something not like work, not just work. I'm saying working towards something that's bigger than me, that I enjoy doing. Giving me purpose to wake up every day. And nothing that happens can take that away. That keeps me getting up every day. And until you find that reason, you know what I mean? Then it might be difficult for you, but you need to find that reason. All right. I'm gonna move to the next topic because this one got a little deeper than I thought. Okay. All right. Let me set up this clip. This next clip, gents. This next clip, that's 2 minutes long. Well, we can watch the whole 2 minutes. I'm good with that. But since we're talking about loneliness, let's be honest. You hear a bunch of men. You hear about all these men are struggling, right? And you hear women bring up all the time, yo, it's the men, and they struggling. Women are struggling too. And I plan to bring y'all a video in the future. I'm going to show y'all just that. I'm going to show y'all how much some of these women are struggling. And not to make fun of them, but to be like, yo, y'all need help too. I want y'all to watch this compilation. But we're talking in relation to dating and relationships today. So I want to show y'all this video clip. Grab your popcorn. If you got it, get a drink, sit back, relax. Check this out.
I give up.
I'm so single.
But whenever they ask for an emergency contact,
So done with dating.
I just been putting Jesus.
I don't know what I thought. Like, I genuinely thought that I was gonna meet people. I've been waiting for my husband for so many years. And I'm just getting mad. And I'm about to turn a lot of stress right now. What happens if I meet him and he wants kids and I'm too old to not be able to give him any? It dawned on me. So it's easier for me to say I don't want kids. It dawned on me. A weird existential crisis. That I'm 46 years old and I don't have a husband to take care of me.
Hi guys, like I'm so sad right now because I just came to like a realization these past few days have been so hard for me, and I missed out on marriage.
I'm 46 years old and
children.
I still need my mom.
And right now I'm like, I don't care like if you are rich or poor, tall, dark, handsome, ugly, I don't care.
My sister,
As long as you're a man,
whether I had a husband or not, they would
and you're
be
breathing,
there.
like that's the only qualification I need because I'm just so desperate for a husband. Like there's a lot of pressure around me.
It sucks.
If you can deal and propose
Do
times
so
to
bad.
life,
I'm 46.
I'll marry you immediately. I'll wash your clothes.
It seems like
I'll
forever
cook for you.
sometimes.
I'll have you
I
children.
finally get the
I'll help
chance
you feed you.
somewhat.
And I'll miss you all.
I do this, or I'm this, or I'm that. What the fuck can I just see enough?
It just sucks. And I'm fucking tired.
Ooh, gents. That was a hell of a video. That there is crazy. Okay? This is not, I want to be clear about something. This was not, I didn't play this video to roast these women. I played this video to show that the reality is that it's not just men out here who are upset, who are lonely, who are desperate to find somebody. I go back to what I was trying to explain to y'all earlier, that we've all been sold a bill of goods. They have changed and moved the goalpost on us. And we fell for it. We fell for the banana in the tailpipe. Hook, line, and sinker. So when I get on this channel and I talk about these things, y'all know my position. I want to see relationships. I want to see people in healthy, happy relationships. I've never made that any different. And if you don't agree with that, maybe I'm not the channel for you, but that's what I want. Unfortunately, though, women now, it's up to you. Society, you have teamed up with the enemy and given up the thing that God gave you just to say that you are free. And you're not fucking free. None of us are. You gave up the thing that God gave you, the thing that made you special, for a fucking feeling. Excuse my French. I guess I won't turn on monetization on today's video. But it angers me. I don't care if you're a woman and you say I'm independent, I don't need a man and blah, blah, blah. I don't give a shit. But don't get your ass on this internet later on talking about I was wrong and I'm sorry and I'm crying. I got no man. I don't want to hear that shit. And neither do us men. We don't want to hear this shit. When we was trying to holler at you, we was trying to be nice. You yelled at us. You laughed at us in front of your friends. You told us we didn't have a shot. You said we weren't good enough. We weren't on your level. You said we're too short. You said you didn't like our shoes. You said I'm too tall. You're too skinny. You're too fat. You're too this. You're too that. You told us all of these things. You put all of these restrictions out there. You listen to people. You listen to other women who are in the same boat as you. You never learn from your grandma or your great-grandmother or your people. They used to have old sayings, right? They used to tell us old sayings. Misery loves company. You all would rather listen to other women instead of listening to what men say. If you want a man, stop listening. I almost cursed again. Stop listening to what these women are telling you and go find out what a man wants from you. But your ass been so brainwashed, it don't matter if us men tell you what the hell we want because you ain't gonna listen. You ain't gonna change. They lied to y'all. They lied to you. They told you was going to have all this time in the world, and you don't. You ain't got all the time in the world. None of us do. They told you can have it all, and it's a lie. Listen, let me tell you one of the biggest lies. You all want to compete and be out there with us men. There's a reason we drop dead before y'all do. The amount of stress of having that responsibility on you, oh yeah, it takes us out. Out there battling and fighting every day, it's tiring. We're tired of it too. This is what y'all asked for, and now y'all don't want it. This is what you voted for. This is what you wanted. A lot of these women thought there'd be a man waiting for them. They thought they can have it all. And, oh, I'm pretty and blah, blah, blah. And them looks started fading. Them titties started dropping. And then they misjudged the time that they had. Modern dating told women that they didn't need men. And now they're finding out that independence can be real empty, real lonely. You've been lied to. We've all been lied to. And this is why it is of my belief. None of this will change unless women change it. But women will never change it because, well, independent women are not going to be humble enough to accept their accountability they need to. Women are going to think that men are the enemy because that's what society tells them. And as long as you believe that we're the enemy got you. As long as you continue to believe that what we're telling you isn't for your best interest, good luck. Yeah. Older women gave bad advice. Older women are literally trying to live vicariously through these young ass women, and they can't. You can't. Gents, I'm going to take this off the screen real quick. And it's just me being real with you guys, okay? Some of you gents are going to be able to relate to this. And I wish P was here so I could talk to him about it. Because him and I would be laughing about it. But y'all remember you and your boy talking about, yeah, man, one day I'm going to have this and I'm going to do this. And one of the things that we as men used to say all the time is, man, one day we should open up this together. We're going to open up a nightclub together. We're going to do this. Then for some of y'all might have talked to y'all boys like, man, I'm going to always be chasing women. I'm going to always have me a baddie. I'm going to always do this. I'm going to always do that. Me and Pete did it. Yo, we thought we was going to be macking forever. And then real life sets in. And we've had kids, man. We've had jobs, careers, ex-wives. We've had homelessness. We've been through it all, bro, since that period of time. And now we want peace. Now we appreciate being older. we appreciate not running after these skip-scop scallywags. And it happens the same way for every generation, man. Right? Most men start to slow down and they get it. And I ain't got no shade at men who can still get it when they older, right? The Hugh Hefners, the Leonardo DiCaprios. Hey, man, do it if you can do it, bro. But there's a point in time where you got to be real with yourself. Now, for us men, it takes a little longer. For me, it took about 35 years of age, and that's when I started making the changes that you see this man before you today. Because at 35, when I had my car accident, I knew that, hey, I couldn't keep my life on the path that it was. And I've been making changes now for the last over 10 years. And I am happy where I'm at. Yes, there's more I can do, but I am happy where my life is at. Ladies, you all are supposed to be smarter than us and more mature than us. Unfortunately, you have to learn it quicker than we do. You don't have it till your 30s to be learning these fucking lessons. You got to learn this shit early. If y'all supposed to be more mature, it's because you got to learn that lesson before we do. And you got to do it young. These older women are lying to y'all. And then they telling y'all, and the worst thing, gents, is these older women are telling these young girls, oh man, if I could do it over again, I wouldn't have did this so young, and I'd have just kept doing me, and I'd have did all this other. Like, these older women are living through these young women and telling them to keep doing it till they're older. And all it is an Ouroboros, right? It's a snake eating its tail. And so the older women tell the young women, oh man, if I could do it over again, I would keep 304ing and just living my life, sleeping with all these dudes, and just I wouldn't listen to nobody. I'm gonna stay up late and not drink enough water and all this shit. And then they become old women. And then they regret it. They don't have the man. They come on here and then this what happens. Look. And now they're crying about it. And then they go from crying about it, gents, to being bitter about it. And when they become bitter, you got the Tracy Ellis Rosses, what other women? All them other women that come on here, man. The goddamn, they get on there and they be like, oh, I'm happy being older now, and I'm so much more free, and blah, blah, blah. Right? They become bitter. And then they tell the next generation of young women, if I could do it, just do whatever you want, girl. I would have done all it. And then it's going to repeat itself. Like, if you can't see that this shit is about to repeat itself, ladies, fuck, the 2, 3 of y'all watching, it's going to repeat itself. You do not have to be married, have kids to be with somebody. Not a one size fits and gets all propriety. A more civilized, sane society. Some deep beats right there. Feminism sold them. Oh, I said the word. I'm not gonna put on monetization anyway. Feminism sold them a bill of goods. They want to compete with a younger woman. Absolutely. They can't learn without the presence of their father. This is why fathers do matter, even to their daughters. I would love to get into this deeper, but you're absolutely correct. We're going to talk about this in upcoming videos here. Now they're feeling lonely. I don't know why they said they don't need a man in the first place. Yeah. Great place to be mentally. Absolutely. I never got married, so I still got my bag. Yeah, yes. Oh, the old Mark, the old Mark Morrison, right? Oh, return of the back, baby. Right? That's right. Hell, I still play that when I'm down sometimes, just because the beat is just the tune is just nice. Exactly, Brother Sean. I seriously thought that's what these people wanted, the whole equality thing. But now that they have it, they're victims of their own making. The problem is women are their own worst enemy because it don't even have to be equality. It's some women will get the thing that they want, and it's not enough. It's just never enough. And the people, you got to understand, I want y'all to think about this. All marketing. Think about, they used to do marketing studies back in the day. Wasn't that what like Mad Men and stuff was about? I never watched Mad Men before, but like they used to have marketing strategy teams. And they've been doing this marketing strategy shit for a long time, right? For a long time. TVs have been out for about 70 something years right now, right? About 70 years. They are deadly efficient with it. Y'all remember the Matrix? And Neo went to the architect, and everybody said, oh, the architect was very confusing because he had all these big ass words. The one thing the architect said that everybody could understand in that damn movie, Matrix Reloaded, right? The thing that everybody understood what the architect says, we have destroyed Zion multiple times. We have redone this Matrix multiple times. We are now very efficient at destroying and rebuilding Zion. That is what the powers that be are doing. And women are the easiest ones to get because y'all shop, y'all buy things with emotion. And they emotionally can manipulate these women because they know that we're in a society where everybody has like some type of mental issues and self-esteem issues. Everybody got self-esteem issues. And they market shit based on your self-esteem issues. Yo, it's like, I don't think y'all hear me. I can't put it in the words like I want to because I'm lost for words my damn self. Okay? Exactly. Yeah, I remember when they made fun of us at school too. They would let us know that we are lesser than them. Yeah, they did. Even listen. Unless you were the jock in school and you just had that pathway, or obviously the school, it was a demographic of life. People that were extremely popular were a very small percentage of school. And we got to be real about it. Most people in school were losers. They were. So the fact that women today, or the way that things are today, that now women can't see past the now. They can't see past what they got now. They can't see, they see to what they want, what they think they want, but what they want is a mirage. They look off in the distance and they want that water off in the distance, but it's really just sand. Y'all ain't hear me though. Y'all don't hear me. Y'all do not hear, brother. All right, I'm gonna get the next clip together. Oh, where is?
We not doing the girlfriends. We not doing.
Sorry about that. I could not find my cursor again. I just realized something. Maybe I can't find my cursor because I have not plugged in this wireless controller to be charged in a very long time. Oh my God. Maybe that's why it is. All right. All right. Now, the next clip I'm going to show you, whether you agree with it or not, there's a key commitment. Men are not afraid of commitment. We just don't want to waste it. We just don't want to waste our commitment on somebody that isn't worth it. And a number of you all have already spoken about that before, right? So this brother is going to break it down. I want you all to hear it. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. And I'm going to get to y'all, right? Get to a few more of y'all comments.
We not doing the girlfriends. We not doing the wife. Ain't nobody wifing you bitches up. Ain't nobody claiming you motherfuckers there's no girlfriends. Stop it. We getting the money. We married to the money, man. Why would I have a girlfriend? That's the bare minimum. You gotta be my partner in crime. You gotta be my partner in business. You gotta be my partner in life. You got to be my partner. A girlfriend can't do nothing but make me smile. She can't bring no money to the table. She can't have no deep conversation. When you're a grown-ass adult, you don't have girlfriends. You have partnerships. And if you're not moving in that direction, where that person that you sleeping with, you're laying with, you're talking to every night with, if y'all don't got a partnership, then it's a battleship. Y'all really bullshitting about to crash any minute. Anybody can be a girlfriend. Anybody can be a wife. Can you be a partner? We trying to get the championship ring. I'm trying to get to the playoff. Can you work as a team? See, a lot of y'all don't understand teamwork. That's why you never win a championship. Everybody want to be the captain of the ship. And now y'all wondering why we had a shipwreck. Teamwork will always make the dream work.
So, I don't ever remember a time where we used to like talk about relationships like this back in the day, right? Where here it is, even as men, we're not talking about it in terms of, oh, I love you, and oh, this is, like I have to woo her. I have to woo her to get her, and she will be my wife. And we don't talk like that. I was like, I don't need no girlfriend. I need a partner. And I'm not knocking what this dude's saying. Actually, I agree, right? Women have made it transactional. Just like all the gents in the comments have said, women have made this thing transactional to the point that now us men talk in terms of transactions. Again, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So women are quick to tell you and tell men like me that, oh, well, you sassy. Just because we speak up against the shit that they say and the things that they do, we sassy. All these different terms, right? He corny, this, that, and the dirt, right? Like women have to use sign language, shame, guilt, insult, guilt, and they need to be right in order to silence you because they have no real argument. They have no real argument for why they behave the way they do, why they need what they need. And so now men have to start thinking about this term in these terms. Us men have to start thinking about, well, listen, right? On one swing, you got men who are losing everything that they're working for a woman who decides, I don't want to be in this anymore. So on the flip side, men are like, I am not letting anybody up in Nellyville unless they can bring this, that, and the third, unless they got some shit to lose. Because if she ain't got nothing to lose and I have everything to lose, I'm a fool for letting that person in my relationship. Absolutely. One of the first things that my people told me after my car accident, even though it had nothing to do with me getting in a car accident, was they realized I need to change my life is why they said it. But the first thing they said is no broke bees, right? Y'all know what I mean by bees, right? No broke bees. Get rid of them. Stop it. And since that point, every woman I've dated since that point has had something to lose, some type of career or something that they can lose. And it's not easy. And that's what my uncle said. He said it won't be easy because it's a different type of relationship. But I would tell you, it feels like a more equally yoked relationship because I ain't the one that's got something to lose too. You do too. You start doing dumb stuff, you're going to lose that job. Play around and mess with me if you will, but you'll lose that job. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, we've gotten to a point now where, you know, men have to ask, what am I getting in return? What are you bringing to the table? This is why men started asking that question. Men didn't just start asking that question. Men started asking that question when women were only talking about what you can get them. So then men started being like, what do you bring to the table? And now we can't even say that because it triggers you. We just talked about this in a recent video that a lot of these women are not wife material. And let's be clear about something. A wife and a partner are not the same thing, okay? We want peace. We do not want chaos. And the person that's really a partner with you should not be bringing you chaos, because in a partnership, you are trying to build something. And if you're bringing chaos to the partnership, we are going to lose. The company, whatever the thing is we're building, will not survive. Okay? We're looking for stability, not stress. A lot of y'all women are a lot of modern women today are ill-equipped to be wives, much less be in any type of relationship. And us men know it because we see it. We see y'all putting all y'all business out on the streets. We see y'all telling the internet all of your business. Yo, you can't even keep the inside secrets inside. So how the hell we supposed to be getting up in a partnership and I can't trust you? Yeah, nobody's signing up for that shit. That equally yoked relationship sounds like a partnership, and then they dissolve. 70% of divorces filed by women, they get 50% tax-free. Yep. All day. Oh, it jumped on me. I don't want no partner. I want a helpmate. There you go. I agree. I have strict, don't listen to Pookie's rule. It's favoring me well. Can't quarter 304. That's for sure. You couldn't have her in her prime. Don't get her in the decline. That is a good one. Yeah. We hear you. Young Hasbrat, great to see you, brother. Thank you for being here, man. I appreciate you. All right. Make him stop with the big words. Of course, nothing will ever be enough to satisfy these people. Absolutely. All right. Yep. Yep. They got that bitter attitude now. Yeah, they're bitter as hell. Cold as ice. Too many love fools before you. Yep. Yeah, they do love fools. And then they settle for you after that, right? Oh, I'm tired of getting played, so I decided to go with the good guy. But like then they get with good guys, and they bored again, and they eat fools again. Like, yo, nobody, look, we know y'all patterns. We started to know y'all better than we know yourself. I heard somebody say, when you are the oppressed in a situation, you know the oppressor better than they know you. And y'all women don't know us. Like, y'all might know how to manipulate, but y'all don't know us better than we know y'all right now, because y'all put all y'all shit on the street. Don't get it twisted. You know? They are insatiable not to be pleased. Yep. Oh, I read that. All right. And I'm going to catch the last couple and make sure I get it. Dennis says, a woman has to be an enhancement, not a detriment to a man's vision, purpose, energy, money, and life. That is an absolute, factual, great statement. Thank you for that, Dennis. A girlfriend gets mad when you get injured and wants to leave you because you can't provide for her as well anymore. Yep. A wife nurses you back to health and wellness. Word to the wise man. That is, Young Hasbrat, that is absolutely spot on. And then we're going to leave out what Preston said. Our next one, how about the absolute need to be a walking pain in the ass from Shrek to flat out disrespect? Oh. All right, we only got a few more clips left. We're going to get to them. Bear with me here. Bear with me here, gents. This time I found the mouse cursor. Now, shout out to this young man in this next clip I'm about to show y'all, right? All right. The next take that this young man is going to give us might actually surprise some of y'all, right? He says that actually women playing hard to get is actually a blessing in disguise for men. Here's why.
A lot of these dudes don't understand that some higher force is protecting them from today's women. Like, so many of them could be complaining about not getting pussy, not being able to fuck a lot of hoes. They can't get a woman's attention. Whole time, something is protecting them and keeping them focused. And they want to get rid of that so they can get a piece of pussy. That's like the dumbest shit in the world to me. Like, literally, you have the most time in the world, no distractions, no women getting on your nerves, none of that, to focus on your craft, and you want to give all that away to fuck some pussy 20 other motherfuckers already done fucked. Then a lot of y'all don't even have the mental capacity to deal with today's women anyway. A lot of y'all will be behind bars if they did some of the grimy shit they did to me, to you. Y'all don't have it. Y'all not player and gangster enough to deal with today's women. So that's why the higher power is protecting your ass. Like, this shit be so annoying. Like, men just be so angry, all this red pill rage, and the whole time you're being protected. There's a reason why women don't want to deal with you, because something is keeping them away from your ass. And it's not always a bad thing. A lot of these women aren't worth a damn. They're not worth shit. They're not worth you spending your time and money on. Some of them are just succubus, like they just, all they do is just suck you dry. They don't give nothing back. And you want to waste your time grinding, working hard hours, getting a scat pack, getting jewelry, doing all this bullshit just to get a little piece of pussy that everybody else done hit. That's dumb.
I see a lot of y'all agreeing with the young man. Facts. Exactly. He ain't lying, right? Yeah, listen. This young man is speaking nothing but the truth. He's right. The pause that we have away is different. It's different than modern history for men to have this time away, right? To have this time away from women. I talk about purpose all the time on this channel. And chasing these scallywags is going to take you away from your purpose. But there's something else he said in this video too. He also said that a lot of us aren't built for these women. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh man, I'm a player. I can get any of these women. Yo, I can't. I might can go talk to them. I might give them a smile and laugh. But I'll be honest, I'm not built to deal, just what he said. I am not built to tolerate the BS I see these little young dudes go through. I don't even know how they do it. Yo, soon as a woman say bro out of her mouth or talk like a dude, and she's supposed to be a sexy and a woman, like I'm like, yo, I'm out. I'm not built for it. I don't know. I don't even know what to say. I wouldn't even know what to say to these girls today. Look, I'm saying for me, right? I don't know. I'm just different. I'm a different era type of dude. I'm an old school dude. And old school don't work right now. It don't. Right? So, listen, something else he talked about it being a blessing that these women don't want to talk to y'all, don't want to talk to us. So I told y'all about the car accident that I've been in. And I told y'all that my family came at me and said, no broke bees. They told me I had to change the way I was moving. And let me tell you, since I made that change, women like my exes, they are not attracted to me. They have not been attracted to me as I started making changes in myself and I started dating a different type of woman. Women like my exes, they used to see me and then kind of like turn off, but now they don't even see me because I'm not that dude who I was when I got with my exes. So one of the things that happens once you get on your purpose is the type of women who you used to deal with, you will not be compatible with them anymore. Nor, if you really change, then those type of women you won't be attracted to either. Matter of fact, you would be, if you really made some changes, you don't even see them. You're repulsed by them. You know what they are. You can see them if you really spot it. But now I don't see them. They don't come up to me. They can pass me, and I don't even notice them passing me. I don't care what they're wearing. I'm talking about everything hanging out. And they have that spirit like my exes do. I won't even see them. I don't even see them no more. So being able to be different enough, on your purpose enough, so that the things and the type of people that used to hold you back don't hold you back no more. That is absolutely a blessing. That's what we should be aspiring and working to. Chasing women will slow you down from achieving and getting on your purpose. You know, if this dating pool is toxic, then why even jump in at all? I've already told y'all my parachute analogy, right? Why would you sign up for something that you jump out of a plane, there's a 50-50 chance that that parachute is going to open, and a 70% chance that the person on your back tampered with your parachute. And then a damn near 80% chance that their chute opens and they're going to be safe while you go and bust the ground wide open. Absolutely. Stack your value. Don't just stack your money, gents. Stack your value. Let me know down in the comments who's focused on their grind right now. Who focused on their grind? He definitely ain't told no lies. It's crazy how their problems are exposed on the internet. And I'm watching crazy channels like Taylor the Feed, Child Time, Gets It Out, and other channels reacting to these Western women. Oh, yeah. Right? We see it every day. Tony says, I disagree. I'm too young and I don't have issues with women. It's not about having issues with women. That's not what I'm talking about. Again, I don't have a problem with talking with women, right? I've never had an issue with that. My issue has always been with the type of women, with women that, like, I can't even talk, like, I can talk to anybody. I can have conversations with anybody. What I don't like is people I can't have conversations with. I can't have conversations with you. It's already lost. All right. Dennis says a primal reset is in order. Our boss said the young man spitting facts. He's going to have a bright future. Absolutely is. When Western women put their personal relationships out there, it just makes them so embarrassing. Yeah. It's cringe. It really is. And then that young man is Batman. Gotham needs. It's the Batman Gotham needs. That's a firework, man. That's fire. And it's crazy in today's global dating market. Yeah. I'm focused on raising my child full-time career and learning more in my field. There you go. Shout out to the dude from Fairfax. Great to see you. He said, I'm laser focused. And I tell my son to do the same thing. I do the exact same thing too. When my son was here, I told him my job is to teach him how to be a better man than me. And his job is to teach his son how to be a better man than him. And then each generation needs to teach the next generation to be a little bit better than the previous generation. And if every generation does that, hopefully we can break some of these curses. Okay? Oh, wait. I didn't read it all. Stay on your purpose, remove distractions. The right one will come, and the wrong ones will scatter like roaches. I agree with everything said in this statement. Absolutely. When it comes to girls in New York, they're hella masculine. They love saying bro all the time. Oh, man. I used to live in New York, man. I lived in upstate New York, but I used to go down to the city all the time, right? I used to live up in north of Albany, man. And them chicks down there is just like chicks down in New York City, man. They're wearing Timbs, these big ass coats, these huge ass hoop earrings, But honestly, though, being a Southerner, I actually got along with women up in New York really well back in the day. I don't know about now, but back in the day I did, right? Added note, when a female uses the word bruh, it is an instant ick, non-negotiable. Yeah. Yeah. Like, how? Character is more substantive than coochie. Yep. I look, man, maybe I'm just getting older now, but character is very sexy to me, man. It really is. Like, I don't know. I need character. I need a woman that I can talk to, that I vibe with. I can't do all this. She just look good. You know what I mean? New York girls that have sleeve tattoos and tank tops, I forgot to say the baggy jeans part. I was thinking like, yo, are you wearing baggy jeans and tips? And it's just hanging? And you got them sagging. It's a crazy thing, man. Like, you a girl, you got it sagging, and you better not touch it either. You know, it's crazy. Crazy, man. The shit I've seen, or it's just like really, really tight. They got the big puffy coats and the earrings, and just the goddamn spray painted makeup on and shit. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. All right, let's get to the next one. We only got a couple more. We're going to be up out of here. Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for the ones that hung in here tonight, bro. I thank y'all. I'm not going to be able to turn monetization on tonight because I dropped some serious curse bombs tonight, but I might try and see what it do. If it rejects it, it rejects it. We'll see. But your boy dropped some serious, the words are still swirling above the nigga. All right. Now listen, man, this next clip, I'm excited to show y'all. The next two clips, I'm excited. We're gonna end off on some positive. Okay. I want to take y'all back before we get to this clip. I told y'all earlier, I showed y'all this clip right here, or I showed y'all this picture right here. Give me a second. Let me set this up. This is what I showed y'all earlier. If you came in a live stream earlier, okay? I showed you this comment, and some of y'all might have seen my community post where I showed this, okay? Oh, that's the wrong one. Oh, I am messing up all kind of ways. There we go. Okay? So I showed y'all this woman, and the last thing she says, I mean, where is the man's responsibility and accountability? Okay? This is what I showed y'all earlier. That's valid. Even though this is the go-to of many women, I'm going to bring it back to y'all. What about y'all accountability and responsibility? Like, we don't talk about that shit. Like, we don't hold each other accountable. Like, real men, because we don't see it. Well, just because you don't see it don't mean it's not happening. We ain't like y'all. We ain't backstabbing each other. Two dudes don't like each other. We ain't about to hang out, and we ain't about to have no phony-ass conversation. Just talked about this with one of my people. If a dude don't like each other, actually, it was me and P talked about it. B and P was talking yesterday for a long time. And one of the things he said is women will have a girlfriend and still be somebody they don't like, laugh in their face, hi, tee, hee, but they don't like them. When we dudes don't like each other, we ain't got shit to say to each other. We hold each other accountable. Y'all don't hold each other. Women do not hold each other accountable. Men do, right? And so I wanted to get to this before it's too late. This brother said this. Marriage is a covenant with God between two people. Men stop taking marriage seriously when women keep overwhelmingly breaking the covenant. We as men aren't scared of marriage. It's divorce which hurts us all three ways. Spiritual, broken the covenant and the family. Emotionally, taking our seed from us. Financially, crippling the man for years to come. A lot of men have woke up and learned. Thank you very much for this, Michael, for your comment. And I use that for a reason. I wanted to set this up for the next clip. Okay. Now, one of my favorite things that I've told y'all about on this channel is down in New Orleans. You know, you had older dudes, older folk who pulled you to the side and they dropped knowledge on you. And at the time, sometimes it was annoying. you couldn't just leave. If somebody was dropping knowledge on you, you had to go listen to your elders. You can learn from all of them, even the wino. Even when the wino would put, come here, young blood, let me holler at you real quick. And he'd tell you stories. You stay in school and you do this. See, some ignorant ass person would be like, well, what that wino gonna teach me? Well, look at his life and listen to what happened to him, and you can learn about how not to be a wino. So one of my favorite things has always been, now, a lot of us are at the age where we need to be dropping that knowledge on younger dudes, right? Or younger people. His older brother is going to basically sneak in some stuff. He's going to use a sneaker analogy to explain outgrowing people. All right? Let that soak in. Let that set in. Let's get to it.
Nigga, when you was growing up, you had a favorite pair of shoes, some jeans, a shirt. You love that motherfucker, bro. And eventually you outgrew that motherfucker, right? That don't mean it wasn't no good shirt no more. That don't mean it wasn't no live jeans. That don't mean the shoes was bullshit. That just means you outgrew the motherfucker, bro. The more you try to stick your foot in them, the more your foot hurt, nigga. The shoe don't feel the most. Listen to me, bro. The shoe don't feel a motherfucking thing. Your feet do. Because you're trying to force something that's not meant to be no more, that you done outgrew. It's the same way in life, my nigga. When you done outgrew a situation, be mature enough to know when to walk away from the situation, when to count your loss. You know what I'm saying? See,
I'm sorry I don't have that full clip, and I am sorry. But what I wanted y'all to get from this situation was, I just told y'all how women, the type of women that I used to deal with, they don't look at me no more. They don't talk to me no more. They don't try to flirt with me no more. They're not messing with me no more. I don't see them no more. It's because, hey, I outgrew that sneaker. And that's fine. That might be good for somebody else, but it doesn't work for me anymore. And that's part of the journey that you will go on when you are on your purpose. You're going to learn that in order to achieve and be great, to be better, to be the best that you can be, to work toward, to aspire to that, you're going to outgrow people along the way. You're going to outgrow certain things you used to do along the way. You're going to outgrow certain people, certain situations. And that's not a bad thing. Like the dude said, it don't mean the sneaker bad, your foot just don't fit it anymore. It don't mean, like, listen, I've been, like y'all know, I be in the gym, okay? Your boy be lifting. I had a bunch of clothes that were great clothes. Some of my favorite shirts couldn't fit no more because they were extra larges. I'm in like a 2X right now. I'm really like I'm in my 2X. I'm in that 2 to 3X range. Okay. Now I'm losing weight right now. I've already lost 4 pounds, and I'm I had tuna for lunch. I had shrimp with low carb things. So now hopefully I get back to, a size that is more reasonable. But even if I lose 10, 15 pounds, I'm still going to be in a 2X. The point is, sometimes that extra large shirts and all the extra large stuff that I had, it wasn't bad stuff. I just outgrew it. And that's fine, man. It's fine. It doesn't mean it was bad. It means you just outgrew it. It means that you're moving on to something else. And too many times we hold on to some stuff that we shouldn't hold on because of our feelings, or because we think that we owe it something, and we don't. Your real ones are going to beat it. Your real ones are going to know that you're changing. They're going to accept the change. They're going to adapt the change, and they're going to still support you. People who don't, they're going to have a problem with it. And then they'll expose themselves. So then you'll know, right? So to me, this speech in the barbershop, this was powerful. Some relationships aren't bad. They're just not for who you are at the moment. They don't work for who you're becoming. All right? And as men, as we evolve, so must the people in our lives that we allow into our lives, right? You know, every woman ain't your future. Some women are just lessons, right? And the most important thing is that don't let it keep you down. You know, it's just be able to adapt and move on. You know, you go through that pain of dealing with somebody, it sucks. But the most important thing is to become a better person on the other side of it. One of the things I can say about my old relationships is I remember my ex saying, you know, we got into it at the end, and I remember her saying, you know, about our friends or something like that. And I said, listen, tell our friends whatever you want to tell them. I don't give a shit. Right? Tell our friends whatever it is you got to tell them. Because at the end of the day, the people that rock with me going to still be here. And the ones that don't, they can take the door. They can go. And I'm okay with that. I want real people around. If you don't, if me not being with you means I lose other folk, then them folk were never for me in the first place. And guess what? I learned I didn't have a lot of friends, and I thought I had people that were mooching off my alcohol and my food and all the parties I threw. I learned that the hard way, man. You know? I had to learn that the hard way. I'm going to catch some more of your comments, but let's get to this last video clip, okay? Let's get to this last video clip. Now, I've showed this clip before, but this next clip I'm going to show you guys, I want to close. I want to show you strength. You got women that come into my comments talking about men taking accountability and stuff. And she need to mind her own damn business, go talk to the women. But women don't hold other women accountable like that because they don't want to be ousted. They don't want their feelings hurt. I'm about to show you a bunch of brothers who were suited up, speaking facts, staying grounded. And if you ever doubted whether or not there are black men out there who are trying to thrive, I hope that this last video of the night inspires you to be on your purpose, to stay on your grind, to not listen to the naysayers and do what you need to do. All right? If you needed to hear that, holler at me down in the comments below. Here we go.
Hey, what's one thing every black man should know today?
Every black man needs to know that you are not alone.
What's one thing every black man should know today?
Oftentimes, you're one connection away from changing your life.
We're kings. There's melanation on your skin, you win. So know that they deserve to be here. You're the best at everything you do. Don't tell yourself otherwise.
There's life after trauma.
And we're better together.
Man, black man got swag.
Yeah.
That we're relevant, that you are loved.
Black men's wear as a traveling cookout.
Motivate and uplift.
Community is all about the community. You're valuable, you're important, and you're needed.
And we're on the same team. We are powerful and unforgettable.
Be the change you want to see in your community.
You are enough. Amen.
Oh, yeah.
And we changing our image.
Take care of your family. Drink plenty of water.
You are loved, you are valued, and you are needed.
We create our own standards.
Keep a suit in your closet because you'll never know who you'll meet out here.
Always put God first. Be resilient. If you fail, it's just a learning opportunity.
Look in the mirror every day and say, hey man, I love you. Keeping yourself together as black men, as a group. It is okay to cry.
Give it one go around, live it to the fullest. Don't leave no gas in the tank.
Any negative situation, find a positive thing. Black men should know that they are powerful and they can do anything they put their mind to.
What black men should know, I would definitely say, who are you? how to export this. One thing every black man should hear today is that they're important. Stay strong.
What's one thing every black man should know today?
Yeah, we amazing.
Can't go wrong with that.
Shout out to these brothers. Shout out to the sister that took this video. For me, this is great to see because these brothers this is out there in Bourbon Street. This is where I'm from. If you don't know, look at all the New Orleans stuff in the background. This is my city, right? And I haven't been in my city in a long time, but I wanted to, I found it important. I don't know why I did that. I found this video important because I wanted to show you that there are black brothers out there, that there are other brothers out there, there are other men out there who are looking to be their best self, to uplift. They gave you a bunch of knowledge. You are not alone. They dropped a bunch. This is the new image of black masculinity. It is out there. And in that new version of black masculinity, we're not crying. We're not crying over these women. We're not begging them no more. We're building. And anyone who isn't going to serve our purpose, we got to be mean, you got to whatever, but you need to let them know that, hey, this is what I'm doing. And if you're not willing to support me and help me on that journey, if you start becoming a stumbling block on that journey, then we don't fit. Don't just do it because I gotta have somebody. No. That person needs to be in your life for a purpose. These brothers represent what we're about here at TSG. These are gents. And this is the way we should uplift each other and strive to be. So when I get women come in my comments telling me we need to hold each other accountable, lady, I'm not trying to hear what the hell you say because we do that here. We talk about that on these live streams on Wednesdays. That's what it's for. This is where we talk about the things that we need to talk about, even if it is correcting ourselves and correcting each other. So that's why I ain't trying to hear that shit. All right? I'll catch your comments in a little bit, but I want to say, gents, if you got nothing else from tonight's live stream, let it be this. Black men, we don't have to be bitter. Men in general, we don't have to be bitter. We need to be better. Okay? We've adapted to these times. Whether they see it or not, we are adapting. We're doing the best that we can. We're doing it for us, not for them. We're doing it for ourselves now. That's powerful. What you're seeing is our reaction, right? Every reaction has an equal and opposite reaction. We have a bunch of weak-ass dudes right now. We have a bunch of women who think they're strong as us. What's happening is men are going their own way, which is going to make us stronger because we have to rough this. We're not doing it alone. But now we're back on that grind, that hustle. We're getting grind. We're getting pressure applied, heat, pressure from society, from all the shit we going through. And that pressure is going to build a diamond, that heat. But we got to be harder. That diamond is going to be hard. That way we make stronger, harder, well-rounded men again through the pressure. We're not falling for the guilt trips anymore. We're not falling for the emotional manipulation and the tricks. We're living with purpose and with peace. So if you got anything from this live stream tonight, make sure that you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to this channel where we try to do this every Wednesday, sometime between 4 and 5, whenever I can get this thing out. Okay, share this with another brother who needs it, right? Share this live stream with somebody else that needs to see this. And if you're watching the replay, thank you for watching. Make sure you drop your thoughts in the comments, okay? And I'm going to catch some more of these comments, and then we're going to be up out of here, okay? Shout out to Devin Mitchell, tonight's first, he's our sponsor for the night. Let me catch this banner real quick. Great to see you, brother. He said salute and preach. All right, Devin, let me get you up on the tickler. I'm gonna leave your name up there for next week too. Since we got you here late tonight, for next week's live stream, you'll be up there too. Because again, YouTube ain't about to monetize this video. I dropped too many F-bombs tonight. Your boy kind of F-bombed it out tonight. I apologize. A little unprofessional of me, but got a little passionate about a couple of these topics. You know what I'm saying? I got a little passionate there, you know. So it happens from time to time, you know. Let me catch Kelvin's comment. Thank you, Devin. I appreciate you, brother. Apparently, it's a lot of lonely people. What's wrong, ladies? Have no one to argue with but yourself? Yeah. I like that. Young Hassan said, that's real. I used to have to stop whatever I was doing and listen. Older adults would be talking for hours, and we would sit and we would listen, and we would not say one word. Absolutely. This is what I remember as well, right? As gents and as a community, the sky is the limit to what we can achieve. I totally believe that, and I feel that. Look, I'm going to show y'all, man. So I used to write these mantras, right? I am happy and grateful for my health, the love in my life, the multiple sources of income. I am successful, rich, love beyond belief. Great opportunities come to me daily, right? And then let me show you. This is where I used to write it. Every day. Every day I write the same thing. Now I morphed it a little bit over time, but that was me writing this mantra every day. When I sit at this desk and start my work day, I would write. And there's over 77 entries on this. It should be a lot more, but and now there's another one that I do now where I say, you know, universe, show me how great it gets. Show me how great it gets. And I repeat positive stuff, positive affirmations, right? And I do that because I'm trying to win. I ain't gonna say no. I'm winning. That's another thing I'm working on. Stop saying try. I am. Remember how we talked about that in the live stream? I am winning. Not I'm trying. I am winning. Speak into the now. Because what we have is the now. Young Hansford says, I got to support. Let me put you up on the tickler there. I appreciate it, man. Y'all, man, y'all just don't know. It means a lot to me, man. It really does. When you guys support the channel and you all like what we're doing here, right? Because this is your channel. And so I want y'all to know that that I am hella appreciative because it's hard out here for people. Your Honor, allow me to fumigate my wisdom on the defendant. Anybody know what movie that's from? They were in the courthouse. Are you serious? Yes. Anybody know what movie that's from? Your Honor, allow me to fumigate my wisdom on a defendant. Where we at? Oh, did it jump on me? All right. You definitely don't need a woman to have a future, just yourself and your purpose and peace. Listen, I want to say something. I want to make this clear. You're right, Preston. But man was not meant to be alone. Everything going on right now is not normal. I want that to be clear. This ain't normal. This separation, this is forced on us. This is not the way we used to do things. Family and community is what was our superpower. And it's been stripped from us. It's been taken. It's been co-opted. There's so many words. The family and community we used to have, that's the thing that they went after. They went after it because it's what made us strong. Family and community is how the Tulsa and them got built. How all these different communities in Rosewood, Florida, how we were able to thrive because of the family and community and people coming together. And there's been an agenda ever since the Civil Rights Bill was passed. The whole agenda has been to dismantle and disrupt our communities. I need people who don't understand this to understand what I'm saying. If you really sit and just take a moment and hear what I'm saying, why is there such an agenda to disrupt our community? Why? If we're not a threat, then why not let us be? Now, when you start pulling the thread on that, and if you really start researching and looking that shit up, what you'll find, if you're honest with yourself, will make your stomach turn. So I'm not for this forced separation, because I realize in the end it doesn't help us. It's my job to hold up the mirror and say, this shit ain't right. Them bros got to be coming out the drip Sunday because those suits are all next level swag. Yeah, I love this video. I've seen this a few times on that Excellent Choice. I will continue to play this video. I don't care if y'all get tired of it or not. I'm going to continue to play this video because I think it's a good refresher. I think it's good to see brothers in this type of atmosphere, in this type of light. And so I think it's part of the refresher course. So you all will continue. Uh-oh. My God, man, I hit the wrong button. The opposite is true too. If it's too big for you, let that go as well. Yep, absolutely. And as a result, we strive on to bigger and better things. While they make videos on social media crying their ass off, seeking comfort from the world. Yeah, right? Oh, shit, we got another super chat. I am sorry about that. Kelvin, thank you so much. God is talking to men, but we do see y'all. Yeah. Let me go ahead and add you to the banner. Everybody who's donated to the super chat tonight will still be on the banner next week because of where we're at in the show. So I want you all to be recognized because I appreciate you and I want everyone else to see you too. Okay. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. I realize you all can be doing contributing to a bunch of other things that y'all contribute here, and I don't take that lightly, which is why I work very hard to try to put out a good product for you guys. Okay, because this is your channel too. Sorry, I'm not going back to the comments yet because I forgot this question of the day. Now y'all can put this in the comments after the video, whatever. I'll catch a few more comments, but this is for the people that are watching pre-recorded. Do you think modern men have truly given up on love and marriage, or are they just tired of being the only ones expected to sacrifice? What do you think? Let me hear from you down in the comments below. Can't wait to hear see what y'all think about that. All right? Where we at? Life is a video game level. Video game level, yeah. Yeah, man. Absolutely, Sean. We have to come back to our fundamental pillars. Exactly. That's exactly right. We're going to change and evolve, but at some point, It's our job to establish the pillars. Hey, this is what the expectation is, right? And women have a role in that as well, because women are the first teachers of the child. And until women start realizing how important men are, and they have to show and teach that respect to the next generation, to say, hey, that's a real man right there. You respect that man. If our kids see women respecting men, then they will respect men. When you are disrespectful, when your kid sees you disrespectful to every man you come across, they will be disrespectful to men they come across and to men in authority. Ironically enough, though, even when those women are disrespectful to men that they come across, it's funny, when they go to their jobs, they listen to that dude, though. I don't know why that happens, but teach me the mantra, brother, homie. Yeah. I tell you what, I might make that a community post. And that way I'll do a couple, hey, this is the mantra that I've been doing, and hopefully it helps you all reach what you need to. So I might do it as a community post. So let me write that down, because I'm old and I forget stuff. Community post. Mantras for living and growth. All right, got that written down. So expect to see that sometime next week or this week. All right. Where we at? If Black men and women were able to unite, we could shut it all down, create a real life Wakandan America. Absolutely. I believe that. I want to say a lot, but I can't, Sean. I don't want to get you banned, but if you know, you know. Yeah, 2025 and 2030 are years of a lot of changes. The matrix is up. Absolutely, our boss. And I couldn't agree more with you. I couldn't agree more. Let's put it that way. I hear you. And that's, I tap on those, I touch on the edges of those, but I don't, I realize that this isn't the channel just for talking about that, but I do talk about those things. And I think in the upcoming video, I don't know when I'm going to make the video, but very soon I'm going to show you that people are kind of hurting and people are kind of struggling out there. Right? I told y'all I'm going to try to expand the topics a little bit, but it still comes down to, if we were together, this shit wouldn't be happening. Does that make sense? So I'm gonna tie it all together. But I need y'all to more money. Yep. Your Honor, let me fumigate my wisdom on a defended time. That's right. Like you said, this is not the dynamics of where we are heading. It's not. It's absolutely not. It's not only not normal, because things change, don't get me wrong, right? But the core, there's a core thing that women do and men do and how we interact. Those things used to be the constant. And then maybe the regimes change and whatever, right? The norms of society change, but they were still based around who men are and who women are and how we relate to each other. Those norms have been knocked down. And they've been purposely knocked down. Because again, the goal isn't to have us together. The goal is to create a bunch of individuals. Rugged individualism. Because if we're not together, we will not rise up. We will not speak up. We will not speak out. And as long as we're fractured, we never can collectively come together. And that was the whole point of what they did to the Black community, right? We've been split. Mothers from fathers, kids, and now, families don't unite anymore. It's huge. It's huge. I definitely hear you, brother, homie TSG, but why even deal with the stresses and the headaches of today's modern women? I'm not saying you have to. I'm saying that anybody you deal with, you need to test. You need to try them and make sure that you understand what spirit you are allowing in your life. It's what I said earlier. We need to know who we're dealing with. This ease that's going around is one reason. Shout out to Zeta Nintendo. Salute to you, Sean. Salute to you, Zeta. Appreciate you being here. I think black men have given up. The countless videos of women complaining about men not approaching, not dating, not going to singles event, passport bros is a sign of a shift in men. Oh yeah, the shift in men has happened. And we talked about it. It's not necessarily giving up as much as in some instances, men just like, look, I'm not gonna disrupt my peace for anyone. If you're not gonna, if you, why do I have to subscribe to someone else's chaos? I don't think that's giving up. I think it's just like I'm not gonna hang around people who don't share my same values. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that, provided your values are good values, right? TSG, black man will make new families and new black people. We will survive this. Yeah, I totally believe that. That's a whole nother conversation. And that might be one of my controversial videos. I told you, we didn't talk about all aspects on why men, particularly and especially black men, but men in general, right? Because we're talking to men in general. We're not talking about why some men aren't crying over it. It's because some men are finding peace and joy and love from other places. They are. But that's another video. Today's video was for us. Talk about us, the gents. Okay? A house or a kingdom divided against itself cannot stand. Absolutely. That's why there's this us group of men that are huddling together. We are creating our own. Hey, we're holding each other to our own standard. That's why earlier on, check this out. That's why earlier on, when this woman made this comment, right, intended to shame, where's the man's responsibility and accountability? Ma'am, that's not for you to discuss. Ma'am, that's not for you to worry about. You don't come in a bunch of men and then talk about sitting about what we set out. We will hold each other accountable and responsible, unlike modern women today. Because y'all will lie to each other. You know? Y'all will lie to each other. You'll lie to people they'll lie to people that they supposedly best friends with. I don't know no dude that's best friends with somebody that lied to their boy, unless they not really boys and they did something they weren't supposed to do. But other than that, most dudes that are really boys don't lie to each other. They don't have to. So when this woman comes up here, makes dumbass comments like this, like, yo, get out of here. You're not serious. You're not trying to have a serious conversation. You're deflecting. Stop deflecting. I have yet to see, that's not true. There are women that do talk on those things, and I promote them on the channel for their wisdom and for them saying, hey, these men are getting it. But I'm saying that collectively, right now, what we're seeing with modern women today, modern women aren't holding each other accountable. They're not saying, hey, we should probably listen to what these dudes are saying. You know? Our boss said, I like your approach, Sean, and your platform. Let's hope that YouTube get your algorithm straight, because other topics can be controversial if your core audience is not ready for the content. I know you all are ready for the content. The problem is I don't have the built-in audience like I'm gonna pick a channel. I'm not like Happen and Preach, right? Shout out to them. Happen and Preach can take these generic content topics and they can talk about them. They can talk about whatever they want to, because the brand, now they have so many people, the brand isn't the topic or the niche. The brand for Abba and Preach is Abba and Preach. They've gotten so big that they are the brand. Their name is the brand, right? I don't have enough. I've been at 47,000 subs for months. My channel was screaming up and it just plateaued. Right? When you have 100,000 people, 1 million people, subs, and subs aren't really as important as they used to be, but when you have that built-in audience who are dedicated, that's why I tell y'all, when I drop a new video, watch that video all the way through, because YouTube uses that as the first metric, because it says if your own audience don't like it, why should we push this out? And I know when y'all don't like it, not necessarily anybody in the comments, but I know when gents don't like what I make, because it tells me right on my screen, it says, hey, they're not watching, they're not picking this video as often as they used to. So when I read that, I know YouTube ain't gonna push it out. And then I move on to the next topic. I used to let it hurt my feelings, but I don't have time. By the time I already looked at YouTube telling me y'all didn't like it, I'd already moved on to get thinking of planning the next video. You know what I mean? So it's men with a family at home will go to work to provide for them. Working women with a family will put on some scrubs or go to work at a warehouse looking for a work husband. To the sense, right? The strength of a community is determined by the strength of its men. Absolutely. Which is why there was a concerted effort to come after us. There's a reason. Of course, we don't want to get brother or homie banned. Oh, yeah, y'all fine. Kelvin says, if it's 70% childless and single men, who are you talking to? Baby mamas and daddies? I'm not understanding that one. It's over 50% of men are single and childless. 50% of black men, about 54% of black men are single and childless. But yeah. We will do what we can to help you out. Like, you know, you are fighting the YouTube matrix. Keep grinding, and salute to you and your hard work, bro. Absolutely, man. Y'all have been supporting the videos. Y'all have been liking the videos. Y'all have had a lot to say about the videos. And I'm going to continue bringing that heat and that fire. Continue to support. I promise I got more. I got more coming. Shout out to Zeta's Nintendo for the $5 holla. When black women replaced black men for the government, then dumped on those same men who were actually oppressed, but the same government they left us for, hard to regain that trust. Yeah, absolutely. And I know, man. Look, I'm not trying to tell y'all to look. My message has been clear. As much as I would love to see brothers and sisters get together and be together, I also realize some of you all have lost trust, and that's okay. You know, again, the big message is your job as a man to go forward is to be a role model, right? To be an example. And that example sometimes might be like, look, that's not my preference, but I'm not going to be the type of man that discourages a man from finding what's his, if he's walking his path and on his purpose, right? So I'm not trying to discourage anybody. I don't want to discourage anybody. I want to help people, man. That's what I'm here for. All right. Oh, let me save that. Get that up on the screen. And what else we got here? Exactly, brother homie. Why interrupt your peace, quiet, and freedom dealing with the walking parasite lady? All right, y'all. I'm gonna get up out of here. I am hungry. I've actually been changing my diet. I told y'all after I went to the doctor and I had changes to make. Like I said, my lunch was 2 cans of tuna. My breakfast was some Greek yogurt, some granola, some protein-packed granola, strawberries. My pre-meal before this was like 2 carb tortillas, right? So it was like low carb tortillas. And I had crab meat, imitation crab meat, and like shrimp and vegetables in it. And that's what I had, 3 of those. So I'm really pushing the diet. I lost 4 pounds last week. We're gonna try to go for another 2 to 3 this week, and I'm just gonna keep it going. And I think I'm trying to get down. I'm gonna shoot for 260. That's my first goal. And then the next goal after that would be to get back down to about the 255 range, right? So that's 20 pounds. Trying to lose 20 pounds. So, all right. Dana said, thanks for the content. TSG, keep the fire coming. All right, listen, I can't tell y'all I'm going to have a video out tomorrow, but I'm going to see what I got from tonight's clips. Again, if you see something from the live stream in a video, I will never just clip the live stream and just put it out as a video. I'm always going to add stuff to it, okay? So I'm always going to give you more than what you've already seen. So please support the videos. But again, I need to repurpose some of this content, right? There's times when you all could be watching a video that I've made and I'm holding back because I don't use the live stream footage. And to me, that's a waste. That's a waste that I've been here 2 hours and 55 minutes and I can't turn this content into something new because I can. And I'm really good at it. So I appreciate you shorting y'all, man. All right, I'll see y'all soon. I hope y'all have a great night. And until next time, live your best life.